90s music vibe, you know, because it's Friday. Live 8, I see you. Welcome in. We're about to get into our conversation. Y'all saw Bitcoin hit 79K today. Went past it a little bit, almost hit 80K. So we're gonna talk about it, okay? I know some people are like overly excited and already saying that it's a bull market, and here's where I want to help us out. We need to make sure that we have evidence to back that up. Okay? I understand there are a good number of people out there that are like, I am so sick and tired of this bear market. When is this bear market going to be over? DC, welcome in. Happy Friday. I hear you. I feel you. Okay? But what we don't want to do is put ourselves in a position where we are pretty much rushing, you know, like we're kind of rushing the process, and we're putting ourselves in danger of getting trapped, okay? And then being disappointed at the same time. Cause so you mess around and you get yourself trapped, and then you're disappointed, you know, because it didn't play out how you thought it was going to play out, or I won't even say thought it was going to play out, the way you wanted it to play out, you know. Um, and I just don't want I don't want people to get caught up in that, okay? So we're going to talk about, you know, a few things tonight, and prayerfully, everybody, you know, everybody's able to join in. As you're coming on, I appreciate you. As you're jumping on, go ahead and share. Hit repost on TikTok, okay? Hit the repost button on TikTok, and then also comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from, okay? Go ahead and type it in the chat where you're tuning in from. Same thing for y'all on YouTube. You can always just type in the chat where you're tuning in from. You can share for sure, okay? And then on YouTube, they have this new option where you can hit hype. If you're watching on the phone, then you can hit hype, and that'll hype it up, you know, for that week. It does pretty much like triggers for YouTube to send your videos out to people. Okay, so we're going to do a little talking. We're going to do some looking, of course, at the charts, because I want to make sure that everybody's sativa. Welcome in. Happy Friday. I want to make sure that everybody is good to go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do a kind of like a quick little recap of what we talked about on Wednesday. Thinkley, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Friday. Armand, welcome in. Happy Friday. So yes, I want us to touch on what we talked about on Wednesday, because we didn't get to finish, and then also touch on this news. Okay, we're gonna touch on this news, so that way, you know, we can make sure that we walk through the stuff and we do our evaluation of the information. We pause, we take it in, and then when we evaluate the information, we're able to identify what is actually evidence for our case or against our case, as it pertains to, are we actually moving into a bull market, or is it a bull trap? Okay, so what we ended up doing on Wednesday, we started talking about what's going on. Michael, I see you. Supreme, I don't know what they say, because boy, that one got me stumped. But I see logging, I guess. Uma, welcome in. Happy happy Friday. Welcome, y'all. Okay, so pretty much what we talked about on Wednesday was just identifying some of the things that, when it comes to the bull market, some things that we can kind of pay attention to help us to identify it, right? So the news came out on Wednesday. We saw that the president, POTUS, had, I see you, Sharon. I see you, Katush, Uma, Stozer. Welcome in, y'all. Happy Friday. Hey, listen. Okay, I see there's a lot of new names. If y'all, I would love it to be on here with y'all the whole time, but I've done it before and I will do it again, y'all. Y'all gotta tap the screen at the very least. I've been on here for what, 5 minutes, roughly 6 minutes. Tap the screen, okay? If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, focus on YouTube and share my screen with them, put them on to stuff, you know what I'm saying, how to properly plan for a bull market, so that way they don't get caught up. All right, If we don't tap the screen, y'all, I just go ahead and focus on YouTube. I appreciate the people who have seen me, but those individuals, my true battle buddies, they're not here yet. Okay? So if you want to be one of my battle buddies, I need you to just at least tap the screen, y'all. All right? That's all I need. Just tap the screen. I don't ask for all the other stuff. I just ask people tap the screen. Tap, tap, tap it up. And then we'll continue on. If y'all can't do that, then I'll just go ahead and focus on YouTube, okay? I appreciate you. I see you, Emerson. Welcome in. I see you, Sean. Welcome in. All right, I'm going to give y'all one more second. Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I'll do it. All right. How do I cut this off? Okay, so we'll try it again, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so so when it comes to what we talked about on Wednesday, okay, we had a pretty busy live stream. It's very engaging. I appreciate everybody that was tapping the screen, everybody that was commenting, sharing that stuff. Wednesday we were supposed to finish our bull market preparation plan, but like I said, the market happened, okay? And we kind of shifted a bit during that Crypto 101. We had that breaking news. We had the whole White House bringing in crypto execs and, of course, the SEC leader and CFTC leader and whatnot. And we had Hyperliquid get mentioned. That was a whole conversation in itself during the live stream. And in our chat, people immediately started like asking about the market, right? Bitcoin was moving. At that time, it was 69K on Wednesday, right? Or it had hit 69K on Wednesday. I think it had went down just a little bit while we were live, but still at the end of the day, it had hit 69K that day. And then we got the question of like, well, I got the question of like, oh, well, Leon, is this a bull trap? What does this mean? What about hype? All of this stuff. I really love the conversation, y'all. I did. I love the conversation because people could have just said, the president mentioned it, so go ahead and buy it, right? But what a good number of us ended up doing was we went back to the evidence. We understood price move, okay, cool, but what's the technical evidence for that price move, right? Were there real deal government regulatory developments, like something in the law, right? Like was anything enacted in law, right? Fundamental evidence that we were looking at. Oh, my bad. Fundamental evidence we were looking at was that. And then also, of course, we had so many people talking about it. So cool, we got our sentiment, right? Because there's this conversation. People are feeling a little bit excited, right? Because there's talks, okay? So one of those things that what I will say is when we have one thing happen, that doesn't tell us what's going to happen next, okay? And that's pretty much what we've been learning all month. We need all three things to line up, and they need to be lining up in a similar direction, okay? So Wednesday's conversation left us with another question, and that is like, what happens if you're right with all of the evidence you've gathered? What happens if you're right? What if something you own actually starts going up in value? Do you have a plan for your money? That's the question, right? Because truth be told, buying crypto is just one skill. All right. Managing that investment after it appreciates, after it continues to grow in value, that is a totally different skill. Okay. And that is where we're going to be picking up tonight. Okay. So for my battle buddies, if you're just getting in here, I appreciate you. Thank you so very much for jumping on. Go ahead and give the thumbs up. All right. Thumbs up for sure. And then share this out with someone that needs this information, could really use this information, and sees the value in what we're talking about for this month and also for today. So I'm giving TikTok one more chance. If they can get it right, then we'll stick with it. If they can't, they back out of here, and I'm not coming back for the day. I get them one more shot. If they can get it together, we cool. If they can't, I'm out of here. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much what we covered, started covering anyway. on Wednesday. All right. So Kate, don't play. I see you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. So I'm gonna try this one more time. I said, tap, tap, tap it up as you're coming in. I've shared the live stream out with people, and we're gonna see what they gonna do. Thank you so very much. I see you. Yeah, I don't know what's going on TikTok or whatever today, but folks was acting weird. I had to shut the live down. I'm like, I don't know, all y'all done popped up in here, and then, it was a whole gang of folks, and nobody was tapping the screen. I'm like, bro, we're not doing this. Like, I got on here, it was like 6:03 or whatever, and it was a whole gang of folks came through. Nobody was tapping the screen. I'm like, I'm not about to be sitting here just talking to myself when I could just focus on YouTube. So that's why I shut the live down. But yeah, exactly. They gotta earn it. You can't just sit here and be like, oh yeah, just feed me, feed me, feed me. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't even say hey or something. Like, Inbound, welcome in. Happy Friday. I'm sitting here shouting out to everybody. Or whatever, and I'm like, y'all can't even at least say, hey, I'm from the South. We won't do that. We're not rude. Like, if somebody speak to you, you speak back. Even if you gotta dip out, just be like, hey, just popped in, I'm out, or something. So yeah, I know. I guess. But yeah, so we're gonna keep it coming. What's going on, Mussy? Welcome in. Happy Friday. I appreciate you. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on going. So on Wednesday we pretty much talked about the stuff that was going on. I see you. I see you. We talked about the stuff that was going on within the White House, the conversations that were had. Phoenix, what's going on, Battle? I see you. Happy Friday. Thank you so very much for the heart. Me too, crypto stock markets. I appreciate you. Welcome in, y'all. Oh, bruh. My dog is right here, and he just let one go. Ugh. Sorry. Ugh. Ugh. Daisy, welcome in. Happy Friday. So yeah, so on Wednesday we talked about what was happening. The White House had the crypto executives come in. We had the SEC, CFTC. They were talking about rules and stuff, things that should be mentioned or included when it comes to clarity with the crypto market and whatnot. Zoku, welcome back. Happy Friday. Okay. But here's what I want people to get. I understand Bitcoin hit 79K today. All right. I got it. You want to be excited. I am Big D. Welcome in. Happy Friday. I got it. You want to be excited. You want to be like, hey, I told you. I heard it already. I told y'all it was the bottom. And this is the bull market. I'm not going to be that person. I've already heard people saying, I told y'all it was the bottom. And we're going into the bull market. I'm not that person. Y'all know what I do. The quiet stand, welcome in. Happy Friday. I'm collecting data. I'm collecting evidence. All them ones I see you, welcome in. Martin, welcome in. Happy Friday. Kings, welcome in. Happy Friday. Right? All that information, I got it. But there has to be a collection. And we need the technical to line up with the fundamental evidence. We need the technical and the fundamental evidence to line up with sentiment. So what I'm going to do tonight, good evening, Battle. Good evening, Battle. So what I'm going to do tonight, okay, we're going to touch on that stuff, and we're going to continue with how we're going to properly plan for a bull market. So if indeed we are transitioning to a bull market, we already got our plan in place. If indeed it is a bull trap, we're not going to be scrambling and everything, because we move according to the scenario. All right, we're moving according to the scenario. We're not predicting anything over here. If that's the expectation with you coming on to my live streams, I'm not your person. Okay. You can go visit somebody else's live stream, their page, their channel on YouTube. That is perfectly fine. Donna, welcome in. Happy Friday. Digital, welcome in. Thank you for the follow too. Lieutenant Love's been a minute. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Okay? I'm not your person to be predicting anything. I look at the evidence, the historical data, and then I base my move on scenarios. Okay? Phoenix Rising will tell you this is something that we learned, okay, in the military. We made sure we had risk management. So we got a plan for this particular type of scenario. We got a plan for this particular type of scenario. We got a plan for this. So we got at least 2-3 plans. So if plan A don't work out or it doesn't happen, but plan B happens, okay, cool. This is how I'm executing with plan B. Got it? Richard, I see you. Welcome in. Afro, welcome in. Hey, thank you so very much for the heart me, Lieutenant Love, okay? So when we started talking about, all of the news that was happening on Wednesday, all right, there was a question that we kept coming back to. And what does the evidence tell us? That was the question. What does the evidence tell us? That's right. Phoenix Rising put it in there. Contingency planning. That's it. Okay? That's it. And now as a civilian, I just be like, hey, I'm scenario based. Because I got it. Everybody don't use contingency plan as a phrase. Right? So we're looking at what is the evidence telling us. Okay? So question for my people that were here on Wednesday, if any of you were here on Wednesday on YouTube and on TikTok, right? Have your opinion changed about anything pertaining to the crypto market since Wednesday? Yes or no? Roaring Granny, welcome in. I see you. Happy Friday. AP, I see you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Has your opinion changed about anything pertaining to the cryptocurrency market since Wednesday, since we were on here on Wednesday? Yes or no in the chat? Yes or no in the chat? Hey, thank you so very much. I see you, Lieutenant Love. Right? Anything changed? Phoenix Rising said, nope, not at all. I'm got them blinders on. I'm staying the course. This is what it is. Until it show me otherwise, okay? Until I am proven otherwise, this is where I'm at. This is my lane. All right? Okay. So this is what now I want to say this real quick, okay? And then we're going to keep it moving. So there are a couple of things that came out. Hold on, let me go to it because I want to make sure that I touch on it real quick. Because I saw on yesterday, they had the CFTC chairman. He directed the CFT staff to begin exploring rules that could establish a federal crypto asset market structure using the agency's existing authority. Does that mean that there's something in law yet? Does that mean that there's something in law? Because the chairman from the CFTC said that, hey, we need to start exploring some rules that can establish some federal crypto asset market structure, right? Does that mean there is an automatic change to the way that cryptocurrency works, functions, or anything? Yes or no in the chat? That one statement, does it change the way crypto functions as a whole? Is that law? Yes or no? In the chat. It said BTC is going to have a strong pullback. Right? FOMO is a real thing. Yeah, I see y'all. Okay. Right? So y'all talking about what you see on here. Y'all not answering the question. y'all not. No, I didn't say. Is it in law right now? Saying who? Is it in law right now? The stuff that happened on Wednesday that was talked about. Is it actually in law right now? No, it's conversation, y'all. It's conversation. That's it. That's all. It's conversation. Now, is it good conversation? Okay. Depends on the person. Is it good conversation? Okay, cool. But it's not written into law yet. This is why I want people to, we got to stop running so fast and making these quick emotional decisions. And then we got to turn around later on down the line, and we got to change what we said before. Y'all want to be in a bull market so fast without looking at the evidence. Everything should line up. The technicals, the fundamentals, the sentiment, all of it should line up. As a matter of fact, What's going on, Crypto Glenn? Y'all give Crypto Glenn a follow. Hold on 1 second. Let me pin that. What's going on, Crypto Glenn? Y'all give Crypto Glenn a follow if you're not doing it yet. For real. Because he goes live quite often. He shows charts. He breaks stuff down. Makes it simple for you. Whether you're a beginner or not, y'all, you can go over there and check him out. Okay? Go ahead and give him a follow. From the live stream, though, don't be, like, trying to find him later because you're going to mess around and get got. Listen, the scammers are scamming heavy. Okay? And they only get worse, y'all, when the market is doing really well. They are very loud. And they are very, very visible, okay? They are much worse when the market is doing great. So even though right now we had this moment, the scammers are going to be scamming even more, okay? And especially when we hit that bull market for real, they're going to be real bad. So I need you to protect yourself now, okay? So only follow people from the live streams. Do not follow them outside of that, okay? Joseph, welcome in. Crypto Stock Markets is back. Welcome back. Let me go ahead. Oh, dog, I can't even do it. So, yeah. So what was I was about to look for? Oh, Crypto Fin Greed Index. Okay? So we have positive information, right? Okay? We have the technicals right now. Let me turn this around real fast. And then I'm going to show y'all the Crypto Fin Greed Index. Okay? And all of this is just from what happened on Wednesday leading up to today. Okay? All of this is from what happened on Wednesday and what has happened up to today. Hold on. He's saying right now we're having a lot of talk around macroeconomics, things like bond activities. Yep. So for my people who don't know, this is the Crypto Fin Greed Index. For those of you that are new, you can go to coinmarketcap.com right here. Okay? And it's showing us when we look, I know, battle. When I looked at this today, I said, so y'all just skipped over neutral and into straight greed. That's what we doing right now. Y'all skipped over neutral and went into straight greed. I'm not saying that some people gonna mess around and get their feelings hurt. All I'm gonna say is, if that were to happen, I would not be surprised. He said we went from 15 to 75. Right. Right. Exactly. Look, Money Talk don't came in here. Trap. It is a trap. Pay attention, y'all. Look at it. It said just last week, we were in fear. 36. So how we go from last week, fear, to today, 75. Come on now. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm not telling y'all. Okay? Yeah, exactly. From you skip neutral altogether. You ain't even sitting here. Like, could you sit in here for a minute? Nah, dog. You went from over here to over here. And then you almost at extreme greed. Look at this. This you teeter-tottering. Crypto Glenn said just hopscotch, didn't it? Right. You just showed up, hop, skipped, and jumped right on over there. Okay? Now, again, I'm not here to tell y'all that it is a trap. What I'm telling y'all is if I were you, I would not put all my eggs in one basket, and I definitely wouldn't be sold on the idea that, oh, yeah, the bull market is here. If I were you. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go into how to identify bull traps and stuff again tonight. So that way, for those who have missed it, when we talked about it last week, and I showed y'all, what it looks like on the chart and everything, and some of the signs and signals for it. We went over that last week. If you weren't here, we're going to go over it again briefly, and we're going to continue with our message, okay? And our lesson for today, which is prepare. Okay? Say we're going to the moon, or better yet, Mars by tomorrow. Money Talk. The stuff that I've been hearing over the past 2 days, I'm like, y'all setting people up. y'all are setting people up. Oh my gosh, y'all are setting people up, and I feel bad for the people who are not having these type of conversations, you know what I'm saying? Or even if you're having these conversations, you're not listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that's an issue to me. Um, but so that's what they do every pump. Yeah, yeah. Ricky Ricardo, welcome in. Happy Friday. He said you were right all summer and now it's paying off. Yeah, let's go. You say they so ready. Right. Spending their last to get in. We ain't doing that over here, y'all. But I know with some people that's definitely like, I'm about to drop. Yeah, okay. 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 If that's what you want to do. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. Okay? I can't tell you what to do. All I'm gonna do is tell you what I ain't gonna do and the things that I am gonna do. Okay? Say they wait for the hope lever to drop, then do it again. Yeah. That just blew my mind showing that doggone crypto fear and greed in this. I'm like, how you just go straight from fear to almost extreme greed? What are we doing? That's stuck in my head. Anyway, so let's talk about it. Okay? The focus for us is collecting evidence. All right? That's the focus. So if what we talked about on Wednesday, like some of y'all said, your mind has not changed. We're still on one track, okay? We are making sure that we are preparing for the bull market. We are not. Crypto stock market says souls will be snatched, bruh. Absolutely. And I feel bad for the people. Journey to Pastor, thank you for that heart, me. I appreciate you. I feel bad for the people who just, they not paying attention. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I understand, there's another development. I will say this. Let me say there's another development that I want you to know about, because this gives us a perfect example of what I mean by evidence stacking. Okay, so when we saw that the SEC was there, I don't know if y'all remember what they were talking about, but I'm gonna read not exactly, but like pretty much paraphrase what was said. Okay, give me a second. Let me pull this up. But they were talking about incorporating rules. All right. So on Wednesday, all right, veteran said it's a trap. I know. Uh, Money Talk said the bigger the pump, the bigger the drop. They forgot about the roller coaster. I got a pin that. I better pay attention. Okay. On Wednesday, the SEC formally proposed a new framework called Regulation Crypto Assets. This was not like a political promise or anything like that. It was just an actual proposed rules. So the proposal would create tailored exemptions for certain crypto-related investment contract offerings, including one exemption for offerings of up to 5 million over 5 years. So pretty much they are putting into place, or want to put into place, rules as we move into this whole voting for the Crypto Clarity Act, which is going to be in September. I want to say it said 15. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say what I read. The senator said September 15th. If I'm right, let me know I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Okay? So pretty much it's not okay. Thank you, Money Talk. So yes, it is September 15th is when they're supposed to vote on the Clarity Act. Okay, so you have the SEC is saying, hey, listen, we're on board. We just have a rule. We want you to consider, right? You have the CFTC like, hey, yeah, we have some ideas. None of this stuff is set in stone. We ask you to have a date for the Clarity Act to be voted upon, right? So you have all of these players in place. That is a positive in a sense for cryptocurrency in general. So that would be a trigger for the market to naturally react. Will we all agree or disagree? That would be a trigger for the market to react. Does that mean that the market is correct in how it reacted? We're not saying that. But will we all agree that that is a trigger for the market to react? Okay? So what's going on, OB? I see you, Miracia. I don't know if I said that right. My bad. Triple Kid, welcome in. Happy Friday, y'all. I see you. Empress, welcome in. Thank you for that follow too. I appreciate you. All right. So with oh, dog, I don't hit the thing. So with that being said, we now have some information. Okay. So we saw the technical. We have some fundamental information. Okay. That was a proposed rule, not set in stone. So that doesn't mean it's final. That doesn't mean it is official law. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin is supposed to go up. It's required to go back. What's going on? I see you. Ola, welcome in. Happy Friday. Happiness is something. Welcome in. Yachty Girl, welcome in. Chad, welcome in. Happy Friday, y'all. Okay? That doesn't mean that Bitcoin is supposed to automatically go up, okay? The important part for us isn't necessarily to memorize every page of any regulatory proposal or idea. The important part is us recognizing what type of information we're looking at, okay? So I got it. You know, the POTUS mentioned, you know, hyperliquid. Okay, cool, whatever. Does that mean that they have to go up in value? Yes or no? No. Okay? Because what other evidence do we have that justifies the value going up? What other evidence do we have as of Wednesday that justifies the value of hyperliquid going up? Anybody got it? Brooks, welcome in. Happy Friday. I think XRP does what XRP does. That's not the conversation right now. But I appreciate you. Okay? So right now, for us, price is responding to conversations. Price is responding to the show of you know, our leaders or the execs in the crypto space, right? It's showing a response to that type of activity, the conversations that are being had. Okay? So question for everybody in the chat. If Congress passes a favorable crypto legislation tomorrow, does that automatically mean every cryptocurrency is a good investment? Yes or no in the chat? If Congress passed a favorable crypto legislation tomorrow, declared it passed tomorrow, right? If that happens, does that automatically mean every single crypto is a good investment? Yes or no in the chat? Happiness is a state of mind, said yes. You in here playing with us. I got it. I got it. You in here playing with us. You trolling us. Okay. Right? Correct. Brock in here playing with us too. Okay. You know, the answer is no, y'all. The answer is no. That does not mean every single crypto is a good investment. Because there's scrubs out there. We know that. There's thousands of scrubs out there. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies that's not going to make it, and you will not see them in the next 5 years. We know that because those of us that have been in the crypto space for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, we've seen some cryptos come and go. Okay? So, what I want you to do is think about, okay, on Wednesday, we worked through 3 sections. Let me bring it here, okay? If y'all haven't tapped the screen yet, tap the screen, y'all. I've been on here for 30 minutes. Come on, we can do better. All right, we about to get into the planning. I'm about to show y'all charts. We can do better than this. All right. My battle buddies, they probably, you know, busy right now, but the rest of y'all here. This is a large number of people in here. There's no reason why we should be at these number of likes. I didn't ask y'all for any money. I didn't ask y'all for any gifts. I didn't ask y'all for nothing but to tap the screen. That's it. That's all. I understand sometimes your thumbs and your index fingers or whatever you're using, if you're not using one of those fancy tappers here on TikTok, I understand sometimes it get a little tired. Okay, cool. Take a break. Somebody else tap in. Thank y'all so very much. I appreciate you. Okay? Let's keep it going. All right, hey, Mr. James, we ain't doing that because we're not talking about trading. We ain't doing that. I'm going to say it nicely. Don't come in here doing that. All right, because we ain't talking about trading. We're talking about people who are buying and holding because they are building a long-term investing portfolio, especially in the cryptocurrency market. Okay? So I'm going to say it nicely. Not, you're going to have to join Block City, bro. Okay? All right. So on Wednesday, we broke through 3 sections. All right. We talked about our finances. I know some of y'all don't like talking about money in this way, but I want to be the person to let you know. Okay? When you have a negative feeling associated with money, you are repelling money. You are less likely to attract money in abundance because you have a negative feeling associated with money. There are certain conversations that you are like, I don't want to talk about as it pertains to money. That repels the money that you could potentially get. Ms. Universe, welcome in. Happy Friday. Okay? So we talked about a couple of things when it pertains to finances. We talked about making sure that our I Got It fund is intact. If you do not have money in your I Got It fund, or you're like, Leona, what is an I Got It fund? I'm new here. Let me explain. I don't personally care for the word emergency. It does not make me feel good. So when I talk about money, bam, bam, welcome in, happy Friday. When I talk about money, I want to use words that make me what? Feel good. Emergency doesn't make me feel good. So therefore, I replace it with something that makes me feel good. If something comes up unexpectedly and you have to pay for it, say a medical bill because your health insurance doesn't cover it, and you have money in an account. Thank you for that, heart me. I appreciate you, Bam Bam, right? You have money in an account. Your thought is, ooh, thank God I got it. Huh? So when you can say, ooh, I got it, does that make you feel good when you're talking about money? Yes or no in the chat? When you can say, I got it, does that make you feel good? Yes or no in the chat? Versus, oh man, I got to put this money in my emergency, savings account. Emergency automatically sends like this signal to me of anxiety. Like something bad has happened. Maybe it's just me. So therefore, I say it's my I Got It fund. Cool. If you want to take it. That's fine. Okay. All right. So we want to make sure that we are putting money consistently into our I Got It fund. So that way, when something happens, if something happens, we are not tapping into our I Got It fund. We have the money to cover it, so we don't have to touch our investments. Okay? Because the price of our cryptocurrency, we know, those of us that have been in the crypto space for quite some time, if you've been investing, let's say in Bitcoin, for the past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you already were here when Bitcoin was less than $10,000 per coin. More than likely, if you started investing in Bitcoin in 2020 or prior to that, you experienced a $10,000 or less Bitcoin. So that means that you should be in profit today, unless you sold your Bitcoin, okay? Or you lost your wallet and you don't have your seed phrases and all those things. But you should be in profit today, right? Well, you don't want to sell if something happens. You want to be able to keep it because let's say that the reason why you're buying Bitcoin is for the next generation. All right, so it's not for you. So that means you need to make sure your funds are taken care of. Your money is taken care of. Party, I see you. Welcome in, right? Everything is taken care of. Part of that is making sure you have your I Got It fund. Everybody got it. That's one part. Part 2 is the word that people don't like. It's a B word. It starts with the B, ends with the T. People feel like it's restrictive. So what we talked about last week, or actually on Wednesday, we said we're going to call it an allowance instead of that B word. Okay? So we're going to make sure that we're following along with our allowance. All right? We know how much money we have coming in. We know how much money we have going out. And we have designated a specific amount of money to go into said investments. Right? Don, welcome in. Thank you for the follow too. I appreciate you. Okay? So I'm not going to say the B word because I know every time I say the actual B word, boy, y'all disappear. Y'all scatter like roaches. I'll be like, dot. Nick, welcome in. Happy Friday. Like, y'all really don't like that word at all, okay? So we want to make sure that we are following along with our allowance, our B word, okay? So that way we can continue to do that thing that people like to talk about all the time, which is dollar cost average. Okay? Troy said, okay, budget. And watch the numbers go. You need the budget. You need the budget. Budget, 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 budget. Phoenix Rising said, I said budget. Right. Folks don't like that word. It's like every time I say it, they just be like, I'm out. J Rock, welcome in. Happy Friday. Okay? But yeah. So people, we need to make sure I got it. Listen, when you do it right, y'all, it helps you to be better financially prepared. You're able to invest the way you want to invest. You're able to save with your high yield savings accounts and stuff the way you want to invest. You're able to pay your monthly expenses on time, month after month. Why? Because you leverage and you utilize, you work and follow that budget. You know what I'm saying? The other part to the finances that we talked about on Wednesday was, do I have appropriate cash reserves? Do I have a stable stash? Stable stash meaning if I know for a fact that I want to buy more Bitcoin, okay? And I'm looking for Bitcoin to potentially go down to 45, 44, 40K, area, right? All right, so I want to put some of my capital that I normally would put into crypto, I want to put that into my stable coin of choice. That could be USDC, USDT, DAI, DAI, or USD, whichever stable coin you're going to use, right? So when you do that every single month, now when Bitcoin drops to that specific price, or when XRP drops to that price, or when Hyperliquid drops to that price, or whatever cryptocurrency you're waiting on to drop to that specific price, instead of you having to go to your bank account, move money into your crypto exchange of choice, wait for it to hit, and then be able to buy that cryptocurrency, and then have to move it from your exchange to your wallet, whether it's a hot wallet or cold wallet. You got to do all this waiting when all you had to do was just put the money in your stable coin of choice. And when it hits that price, all you do is exchange that stable coin for that particular cryptocurrency that you're looking to buy. Okay? So that's what we talked about as it pertains to finances on Wednesday. Okay? And then the other part we talked about on Wednesday is making sure that we know what we own. So we talked about our portfolio. I asked people, do you know what cryptocurrencies you hold right now? Without looking at any of your wallets. Without looking at your crypto exchange, if you're that person, for whatever reason, hold your crypto on a crypto exchange, okay? Do you know exactly what you own? Do you know the exact number? Yes or no in the chat, because I know some of y'all weren't here on Wednesday. Do you know exactly what you hold without looking at your wallets? Do you know the exact number that you hold? Yes or no in the chat? He said, well, sort of. Right? I'm not asking y'all to tell me what it is, because you don't have to. Okay? So this is what we talked about. He said, I got a lot of dust. Hey, I did some cleaning. I did some spring cleaning last year. Because I realized, I was like, yo, why do you still have, y'all don't clown me, okay? This is when I first started out. And the metaverse whole conversation was so big, y'all ain't know what the heck I was doing, okay? Remember, this is a judgment-free zone. So the way I don't judge you, I'm expecting you to not judge me, okay? So I had Engine Coin and I had Mana because of the whole metaverse conversation, y'all. And I used to have, what was it? Sand. I think it was Sand, right? So you would be judged. All right. So when I looked at my portfolio last year, right, I was like, Leon, why you still got this? Why you still got this stuff? Get rid of this stuff. Like, this isn't even where you at right now. Mentally, as an investor, like, why do you still have this stuff? Get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of it. Yeah, still, look, I only put, it was either $25 or $50 into Shiba. $25, $50, like, because I don't do meme coins. So I was like, let's just see. And I still ain't got my little $25, $50. Still ain't got my little $25, $50 back. Ain't that something? And we talking years. Blue, welcome in. Happy Fatima says, stand by. Yes. Again, listen, I know I made the mistake because I was new and I was just following what was told to me. I wasn't doing the research at the time. I didn't understand or know how to properly do the research at that time. Remember, y'all, I didn't start seriously investing until 2020 when it came to cryptocurrency. I was exposed to it in 2017, but I was told to trade. So that's what I did. That's what I did. I called myself trading. I can't even say at that time I was a trader. I called myself trading, child. That didn't work out because I was in the army. I was busy. I ain't had time to be attempting to figure stuff out. I was like, either you gonna show me how to do this, or I'm just gonna have to sit this down. That's what I ended up doing. So instead of me, attempting to learn from somewhere else, I was just like, yeah, the person that told us to do it, he didn't tell us how to do it. He just said, open up a Coinbase account, buy some Bitcoin. Cool. Now open up a Binance account, send that Bitcoin from Coinbase to Binance and start trading crypto. That's how it went. That's how it went. Crazy. And my butt did it. that's the best. I did it. So 2020 is when I started, but I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. So in 2025, I was like, yo, let me look at, because I said, at that time, I think I had got to 12, 13, however many cryptocurrencies, right? I had in my portfolio. And I'm very particular with my stock portfolio. So I'm like, I'm not going to have more than 12. There's a reason why I don't want to have more than 12, right? So I applied that same thought process and logic to crypto. Like, why do you have all of these cryptocurrencies? And when I started looking, I'm like, why do I even have this right now? Why do I have this right now? So the question is, for those of you that said, okay, I have all of these cryptocurrencies, well, why do you own each one that you own? Can you answer that with a straight face? Not the not the well. No, this is why I own it, and I stand on it. I stand on it. I'm not letting it go unless these things happen, and that tells me, okay, this is no longer a viable crypto project for me, for the type of investor I am, right? Why do you own the cryptocurrencies that you own? Thank you, Acorn. I appreciate you, right? If you don't know why you're owning it, I'm here to tell you it's okay to let it go. Okay? If you're like, I have no desire to even research it, I don't know why, and I've been holding it, and it's not increasing in value anyway, and you don't feel like doing the research, why do you hold it? Hold on to the stuff that you understand, that has definitely have staying power, that has shown you time and time again that it can bounce back. Price can drop, but it can also come back higher with the vengeance, like Bitcoin, right? Making sure that it has a very strong community. It's being adopted globally by large corporations and things of that nature. It's being integrated in their entire ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? It's solving a real world problem every single day. It's being updated to make sure that it's solving that problem every single day. These are the things that are the makings of a great crypto project. If your crypto that you're holding right now cannot answer those questions and say, oh yeah, then it's okay to let it go. Okay? It's okay to sell it. It's okay to sell it. All right? The last thing that we talked about on Wednesday was making sure that we, collect our evidence. What does that look like? What do the technical indicators tell me? What do the fundamentals tell me? What does the sentiment tell me? Right? That's what we looked at. We went through the whole process because of the news that we heard on Wednesday. People got excited. Oh, Bitcoin broke that area that we've been sitting at for a while, and now we at 69K. Whoop whoop whoop. That was a conversation on Wednesday, and then the POTUS mentioned Hyperliquid, and look, it pumped 11%. Whoop whoop whoop. Okay, so where's Hyperliquid at today? I don't know. I didn't look at it. Right? I'm genuinely asking, where's Hyperliquid at today? Number one. But number two, why in the world, why did it pump 11%? Was it just because the name dropped? Or was it because something actually happened to warrant that increase of 11% on Wednesday? Because if it's just a name drop from the White House, that's not enough evidence. Okay? So what we didn't get into, and we're going to get into tonight, is profits and risks. Okay, so we're going to finish working on our plan. We're going to go to the charts again today. God willing, we can get to the charts by like 7:30. So in the next 30-40 minutes, roughly, we can get to the charts, and then we can do our whole process, where we're looking at, the dollar index. We're looking at the 10-year treasury yield. Jackie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. We're looking at NVIDIA, QQQ, and of course the Bitcoin ETF flows, all before we look at the Bitcoin chart. Okay, that's to help us to identify what's going on. Why is Bitcoin pumping, besides the conversation that's been had between Wednesday and today? Okay, so that's it. I definitely want to start with a question. Okay, and this is a question I think there's a good number of investors like to avoid. Right? What are you going to do if you actually make more money? If your portfolio actually goes up, what are you going to do with the money? What are you going to do with the money? Type it in the chat. What you going to do with the money? Like, what purpose does your crypto portfolio serve? You see gains with your crypto portfolio. What are you doing with those gains? Anybody care to share? Anybody? You. Anybody? I'm curious. Let's go. What you got? Thank you, Ree. I appreciate you. Hopefully we get it there. Y'all stop tapping the screen. It's a good number, y'all here. What's going on? Tap it up. Tap it up. We've been here for a whole hour, almost. Said turn into stable coins. Okay, Mama Dukes. Sean said real estate. All right. That's, you know what I'm saying. Let's go. The Daily Skewer. And see, that's probably why your comment was blocked by TikTok. So I ain't gonna read it out loud. So little, I just buy groceries. Hey, if that's what it is, that's what it is. Turn into USD in short. Okay, if that's what your plan is. Keter, welcome in. I see you. Happy Friday. So look, there was a Mama Dukes, right? She said turn into stable coins. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. But what Mama Duke said is one part of that I agree with is because when I say that we build our stable stash, you can take a portion of your profit. Again, this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor at this time, okay? Licensed financial advisor at this time, okay? So what you can do, which is what I learned to do after my first bull market, right? What I learned to do was take a portion of my profit. So I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I already know my Bitcoin is not for me. Okay, that's for future generations. That's not for me. Everything else is on the table though. Okay, everything else remember I only have about 7 or 8 cryptocurrencies. If I name them, then I can say it's 7 or 8. It's right there, right? So everything else is on the table. Bitcoin is off limits. That's not for me. All right. So everything else, when there is substantial profit, there's a portion of that profit that's going into my stable stash, which is USDC. I used to use USDT. Now it's USDC, right? So a portion of my profit is going into USDC. And then a second portion of my profit is going to go into into a high yield savings account for taxes, but also into the market. All right. So right now I am buying different stocks, gold, silver. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And when that time comes, if there's an opportunity, most definitely there'll be a portion of it in real estate. All right. You said never sell Bitcoin. I'm with you on that. The daily school skewer. I almost messed that up. Christopher, welcome in. Thank you for the follow too. I appreciate you. All right. So that's Leona. Again, I cannot legally tell you what to do with your money. Okay. So that's Leona's idea of, okay, this is how I'm breaking it down, and I have my stuff planned out percentage wise. Okay. So, and the reason why Leona puts a portion of profit into a stable coin is because, like I said earlier, I want to be able to dump money into a cryptocurrency when it gets to my desired price. So that way, at least if I don't have the entire amount, guess what? That's less that I have to pull from my bank account. Make sense? So let's say Bitcoin pushes down. Let's say this is a bull trap, okay? And Bitcoin pushes down below that 59K that it went to, or 57K, my bad, that it went to this year. And it drops down lower and it goes somewhere between 45, 40K, somewhere in that area, right? Okay, cool. Well, guess what? With having that stable stash, instead of having to find a full 45, 40K for a person that wants to have one full Bitcoin, right? Well, guess what? You can pull from your stable stash, whatever that amount is, and then make up the difference from your capital. You know what I'm saying? From your bank account or whatnot, or however you're going to get the money. Okay, as long as it's legal. You said I like it. All right. Yeah. So that's Leona. But my stuff is broken down in percentages. Same way with the stock market. There are certain accounts that I have where I use to borrow from to invest in other things, right? Then there's one particular brokerage account that's not one that I'm borrowing from. It holds my daughter's 529, college plan, all of that stuff, right? So it's the same mentality for me. There's one particular account that I can use, that I'm using to, leverage the profit that I gain, and then there's another one that's not for me. Right now, I don't touch that. I just continue to invest. That makes sense to everybody? Yes or no in the chat? Yes or no in the chat? Terry said dollar cost average into the market. Yeah, we got it. But there's a way we go about it. And that's another thing too. And I'm gonna get into how we're going to work on building our plan, right? Hey, Dad supported Dads. What's going on? Welcome back. Happy Friday. I see you. Okay, Mama Duke said yes. So about dollar cost averaging, because Terry brought it up, right? Was it Terry that said it? Yeah, Terry brought up dollar cost averaging. So there are some of y'all that are new to me. I appreciate y'all for coming in here. Rosie, welcome in. Happy Friday. But I want to be clear on this. When people talk about dollar cost averaging, what I have noticed, and maybe I missed some people, but what I have noticed, the average person that mentions dollar cost averaging, they're speaking from a perspective of the price that you buy at does not matter. It absolutely does. I need us to stop saying that. It absolutely does. The price that we're buying it, I got it. A lot of us want you to buy consistently. We want to get in the habit of investing in the market. We want to do that. Thank you so very much for that heart me, right? We want to do that. But there has to be a cutoff point at a specific price where we say, okay, I'm no longer dollar cost averaging into this one. I'm going to rotate my capital to the next thing that's at a desirable price point for me. Example, for my people who may not get it. All right. Let's say you've been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin for this entire bear market. Okay. You've been averaging down because the price is going down. You've been doing that, right? Okay, cool. So let's say, all right, Bitcoin hits 85, 90K. Okay. Y'all following me so far? So Bitcoin hits 85, 90K-ish. All right, cool. Are you comfortable with continuing to buy Bitcoin at 90 plus, knowing that Bitcoin is going to have to come back down and there's going to be another bear market? Where do you think, just give it a guess. Thank you so very much for the Marcus. I appreciate you. Where would you guess, Okay, if you have charts open, that's cool. But where would you guess Bitcoin could potentially return to during the next bear market? What area do you believe that Bitcoin could return to during the next bear market? Let's just say this 250K that people been throwing out for years, because I've been hearing 250K Bitcoin for, each year. I've been hearing Bitcoin is about to hit 250K this year. And I'm like, what are y'all looking at? help me out. What are y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying? Because I've been hearing that for years. Now, the next bull market, that's a possibility now, given what we just saw. But I'm saying, let's just say, hypothetically, Bitcoin is 250K. This next bull market, right? Where do you believe Bitcoin has a potential to drop down to from that 250? Just a wild guess, right? So somebody said 80K Igloo, okay. Ken, look at it. Okay, I'm talking about people were saying we're gonna hit 250K years ago. Dog, we was at 60K. How y'all gonna tell me that we gonna hit 250K in 2023 and we had just hit 60, 68, almost 69K? That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you looking at to tell me that we about to hit 250K and the highest we've been is almost 69K at that point? That's what I'm talking about. So, crypto stock market said from 250K, okay, we could see 75K. Price drop down there. Right? So, that's the area that I'm looking at. So somewhere between that 75, 70K, maybe even, okay, a little under 70K. You know what I'm saying? Like high 60s. So in my mind, ain't what I'm doing. I don't care. That don't do me. I'm telling you what Leona doing, because legally, I can't tell you what to do with your money anyway. Okay? I'm just sharing because I'm a sharer. All right? So Leona way of thinking is, all right, I've been dollar cost averaging for quite some time. It's storming here. So that's probably why. We got a bad thunderstorm. And it's pouring down raining right now. So yeah, so that means I'm gonna have to hurry up then. So yeah, so hey Brian, welcome in. Happy Friday. So yeah, so in my mind, right, and it's gonna push back down for the next bear market. It's possible that Bitcoin could come back down to that 75, high 60K area, somewhere in there. Well, in my mind, I'm like, well, why would I keep buying beyond 90K? For me, why would I keep buying beyond 90K when I've been dollar cost averaging all this time? When I can just rotate the capital that I have allotted to invest in Bitcoin, I can rotate that capital to something else, so that way I can get more of that other asset that's at a desirable price for me. Does that make sense to everybody? Much welcome back. Friday. Does that make sense to everybody? Can y'all hear me? I'm hear y'all. Because it was storming and normally messes up. Thank you so very much for that heart, me Crypto Angel. I appreciate you. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Because it kind of went out on YouTube too. Okay, cool. All right, and Much said it makes sense. All right, cool. So that's just me. Okay, that's just me. You don't have to do what I'm gonna do. You don't have to think how I think. Okay, you're an individual, and you invest the way that you invest. What works for you may not work for me. Okay, and what works for me may not work for you. All I'm doing is sharing, and you take the information, you go do your own research, do your due diligence, and then you apply it how you want to apply it into your life, or discard it. Totally up to you. It's your business. Ah, man. I can't do anything, y'all. Hold on. Let me see it. Hold on 1 second. I got off the Wi-Fi So hopefully, let me know if y'all can hear me better, cause I'm connected to the Starlink on TikTok and on YouTube. But YouTube is saying I'm fine. They can hear me fine. I'm only investing right now. When it comes to cryptocurrency, wow, not weird. Miss Erica, welcome in. Yeah, see, YouTube is saying they hear me just fine. TikTok, what y'all got? Can y'all hear me? Is it still choppy or are we good? Is it still choppy or are we good? Okay. Yeah, so hopefully it's better. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's why we're gonna get into our planning, right? So there are some people who are saying, "Oh, right now we're in a build, we're in the beginning of the bull market. That was the bottom." All right, cool, cool. So I had to get off the Wi-Fi. I got you. Thank y'all for letting me know, though. All right. So there are some people right now that are already saying, "Oh, we're in a bull market. That was the bottom." Whoop de whoop whoop. Okay. So if we are in a bull market, right? How do we how do we build a profit plan, right, without having those overly excited emotions, right? How do we do that? So for my experienced investors, those of y'all that have been investing in the crypto space 5, 6, 7, 10 years, right, 10 years plus, right, how do you, not how, okay, I want y'all, let me do it. An investment go way up as an experienced investor. Who has ever watched their investment go up, right, and then take any profit? Let's say your first bull, you actually have a profit take plan. Your first bull market as an experienced investor. Yes or no in the chat. I can tell y'all right now, my answer is no. I can tell you right now, my answer is I didn't know what I was doing. Narrow Pathy said no. Rainy said yes. Okay, well, shout out to you, Rainy. Crypto stock market said no. Okay, it was me. All right. All right. So crypto said, Turbo Man said we all lost. Listen, and that leads me to the next point. Turbo Man said, he said we all lost. How many of y'all, as experienced investors, you watch a large chunk of your gains just disappear because you didn't take profit? Go ahead, give me that hand raise emoji in the chat. Give me that hand raise emoji in the chat. You know the only thing I did right my first bull market. Well, hold on. Hand raise emoji in the chat. If you watched a large chunk of the profit that you made during your first bull market, right? You watched a large chunk of those gains disappear. Put that hand raise emoji in the chat. I'm raising my hand so that way y'all see I was there, right? Uh, Roman Lioness said I only took profit from meme coins. Well, at least you took profit. So, you see all these hand raises? All of us is like, absolutely not. Much said 180K to 14K. God dog. Jesus. That would have hurt my soul, child. My little five figures at the time, I was just like, whoo. My little five figures, I was like, Jesus. Right? Said I thought it would come back up. Right, right. Roman Lioness said, but I'm thinking differently now. That's the point. So I'm saying this. I'm saying it. Thank you so very much, crypto stock markets. I'm saying this, y'all, because I want people who this is their first bull market coming up, and this is the first bear market that you've experienced. You can do something better than what we did because we didn't know. We jumped in early. We were learning, but we weren't learning fast enough, I should say. Some of us, you know, during the bull market, uh-oh. Okay, I'm back. What can you do? I can do it too. Okay, so I'm back on YouTube. Um, so yeah, so it seems like the only thing really propping up Bitcoin is, of course, our government and other governments. Okay, if Bitcoin stays above 80K for a few weeks, do you think that will help the price move up? You know what I'm saying? But for the people who don't know, and I'm pretty sure that's why you're asking the question, for the people who don't know, there's something called higher highs and higher lows. That's part of the trend, right? This is going to help us to identify if we have indeed pushed out of the bear market and we're moving into our bull market. That's one of our first signals. Okay, so if we see that, and we see that not on the daytime frame, y'all, we need to look at higher time frames. Okay, so Leona looks at the week time frame. So that means each one of those pretty candles that I'm going to show y'all here in a second, each one of those pretty candles represents 1 week of price moving either up or down. Okay, so when we see 1 week price is moving up, and then the following week price does a nosedive, more than likely that is a what? Bull trap. Okay, yeah, he took off. Um, so for us, what we want to do is make sure that we see consecutive higher highs, higher lows. Okay, Nick, I don't know who you is, bro, but you about to go. You about to go. Go ahead. You're out of here, Block City. Block City. I don't know what you got going on. What is this? Fake, fake. All right. So with that being said, y'all, what we want to do is make sure that we are preparing. Okay, we are preparing. I have no idea what the Canton Network is. The Daily Skewer. All right. Uh, There we go. Okay. So since we talked about it, okay, we want to make sure that we build our plan now. This is the perfect time for us to build our plan while people are overly excited about one conversation, one photo op, okay, I won't say one. People are excited about a conversation, a photo op, the fact that the Clarity Act has a date to be voted on. These are good things to be, like, okay, there's some forward movement. All right, there's some forward movement. Okay, cool. All right, but what I would say is for us, what we want to do is make sure that we learn from the past mistakes of everyone else. Okay, so when we talked about we didn't have a profit plan in the past, okay, more than likely the reason why we didn't take profit is because we thought that the price was going to continue to move up. We were excited to see our portfolio at the balance that it was at. We started feeling a little greedy. You know what I'm saying? Some people were waiting for Bitcoin and these other cryptocurrencies to get to a certain price. I know I did that with certain things that I ended up letting go because I'm like, yo, like you should have just took profit when it went from, like, Mana was one of them. I had Mana when it was like 20 cents or something like that, and that thing shot up to $1, $2, $3, whatever it is. That was my time to sell because I didn't even understand what the heck I was holding in the first place. But guess what? I didn't do that. You don't know what you don't know, right? So with that being said, for y'all that did I screenshot what, neuropathic? What are you asking? Did I screenshot? Oh no, and that's another thing. Like I know how much I saw my portfolio go to, but I didn't do that, and that's why I'm gonna do that this time, cause I want to keep a record. Right? I want to keep a record. Again, you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Okay, thank you, Daily Skewer. Jesus. You follow. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. Okay. But yeah, so now what we want to do is help you all, people who are going into experiencing their first bull market. We want to make sure that you learn from some of our mistakes, learn from our behavior. Said Rami said I did, and I hate when I see it. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't. I think I'd be mad, just like when I went back and I looked at when I was holding like Exxon Mobil and USO, like United States Oil, and I bought that when the pandemic hit. So I bought in like February, March, or something like that in 2020. And I went back and looked this year, y'all, at the price. I was so mad at myself because I sold like a year or two later. And I'm like, Jesus, this stuff is up over 400%. If I would have just held on to, but you don't know what you don't know. Okay. So yeah. So with that being said, the first thing we want to do when we're planning, okay? Because I want to 7:30. I want to hopefully be at the charts. All right. So let me get through this part, y'all. All right. Help me stay focused. So one of the first questions we want to ask ourselves when we are building our plan to take profit, okay? And we know what we're holding. What we want to do is establish what's the purpose of this investment. Like, am I really investing for the long term? Thank you so very much for the heart, Miss Regina. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Okay? Is this something that I am going to invest in long term? Long term, y'all, meaning like for real. Think about the people with the most money. These people work and focus their energy and attention surrounding decades. So at a bare minimum for the next 10 years, I'm doing this because this is what I'm looking for as a result within the next 10 years. Okay? I understand, y'all. Some of us are not millionaires and, centimillionaires and things of that nature at this moment. If that's not something you desire to be, if you don't want to have a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure portfolio, hey, that's your prerogative. But for some of us, we want to be able to establish a very healthy portfolio so that way the kids that come after us, the next generation, they don't have to scrape and scrounge and get stuff out the mud like we did. We can teach them what we know so that way we can leave behind some assets instead of a ton of debt like some of us received. Or nothing at all like some of us received. We got dust when our parents passed away, right? When our grandparents passed away, we got dust, okay? Some of us want to do better than those who came before us, right? So if that's the case, we need to know, are we holding this long term? All right, so let's start thinking 10 years. Let's stop thinking, okay, I'm going to hold it for a year or 3 years or 5 years. No, let's think like the people who have the money. We don't have to do exactly what they do because we may not agree with everything they do. That's fine. But take the parts that make sense that you are like, yes, I could do that. Take those parts and implement. 10 years minimum, y'all. Okay? If what you're looking at investing in does not fit that 10-year vision, like it's going to be solid, it has the potential to be solid for the next 10 years, right? Then that's something that should be in a separate type of account. And that's the one that you're going to rotate and you're going to be maneuvering and all of that stuff. Like you're going to be selling and all of those things, probably borrowing against it and all that stuff. Like that portfolio needs to be in a different type of account. Does that make sense? So if you are a person in the crypto space and you're like, no, I know for a fact this portfolio is for the next generation. I want to hold these particular cryptocurrencies for at least 10 years. Then guess what? That portfolio should be in a separate cold wallet. Does everybody follow me? If you follow me, give me the thumbs up. If you follow me, give me the thumbs up. Let me know. If you follow me, give me the thumbs up. Crush, I see you. Welcome in. All right, cool. So that's part one of this. Okay? That's part one of this. Now, part two of this, y'all, is we need to establish if what we're investing in, especially in the crypto space, right, is this something that is of higher risk? How do we know? We already know the cryptocurrency market is considered a high risk type of asset, right? Because it hasn't been around as long as the stock market, real estate, all of these other things, precious metals, so on and so forth. I understand that. But there are certain cryptocurrencies that are of higher risk than others. Our blue chip cryptocurrencies, our large cap cryptocurrencies that have a market cap of 10 billion or better, those are not as risky as our mid cap and small cap cryptocurrencies. Does everybody understand that? If everybody knows the dollar value to a large cap cryptocurrency, please give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat. 10 billion or better, large cap cryptocurrency. 10 billion or better, large cap cryptocurrency. Everybody got it? Okay, cool. So our mid cap is that 2 billion pretty much, or over 1 billion to 9.5, 9.8, 9.9, da 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 da, right? So it's 2 billion to right under 10 billion. That's our mid cap. Okay? Our small cap, which this is where our speculative type of investment, our riskier investments, right? In the crypto space, that's our small cap. That's $1 billion in market cap or less. Okay? I'm not here to tell you what to do with your portfolio. But for Leona, I am heavy on blue chip, large cap cryptocurrency, 10 billion or better in market cap. I am huge on that. That's how my stock portfolio was set up. Okay? That's why my stock portfolio is doing well, because it's more established, but they are still growth. There's a mixture of growth, stable, slow growth, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's a little mixture in there. When it comes to small cap cryptocurrencies, for me, I'm not heavy on that. This is why Leona don't do meme coins. Okay, this is why I understand that there are people like, oh, this is the next thing. This is the next. Okay, I understand that. My investing style, because of where I am in life, number one, but also two, I take risks, but I don't want to be reckless with my risk taking. It's more calculated risk, right? So I'm a moderate risk taker when it comes to investing. I want you to establish that for yourself too. Are you more, like super risk? You're high risk. You're like a Michael Saylor or Kathy Wood. You know what I'm saying? They're super risky. Okay? If you're not like a Michael Saylor or a Kathy Wood, maybe you're moderate. Like sometimes you'll dabble, you know what I'm saying, into those small cap coins, the up and coming stuff, right? You'll dabble a little bit. That's a very small, or that's a small portion of your portfolio, but you still, right? So you may be moderate like me. Now, if you are a person that's super low risk, you're very, very conservative, more than likely, you're probably only focusing on large cap cryptocurrencies, and you probably have crypto ETFs because you're like, hey, this is more safe in my mind because it's in the stock market. Okay? I can hold Bitcoin ETFs, I can hold Ethereum ETFs, I can hold XRP ETFs, right? Because this is in the stock market, it's regulated, blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel more comfortable with that. So I may have more of the crypto ETFs to have the exposure to crypto, and then I may hold some Bitcoin and Ethereum, but everything else I'm probably not holding. That makes sense? So you need to establish, like, what are the things that I'm investing in, are they part of the small cap, mid cap, large cap? Okay? Because there's different risks associated with that. Okay? And then remember, why did I buy it? Did I buy it just because people were talking about it? Or did I buy it because I believe in the technology? Did I buy it because I see that it's a solid project and it has the potential to be here in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? BK, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Okay? So that's what we want to do. So can you tell me the job each cryptocurrency has in your crypto portfolio? Yes or no in the chat. I don't need you to tell me what it is. I'm just saying, can you tell me what job each cryptocurrency has in your portfolio? Yes or no in the chat. I am him. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Can you tell me what job each cryptocurrency has in your portfolio? Yes or no in the chat. Miss Erica said no. BK said yes. Mama Duke said yes, ma'am. I see you. Okay. Right? So if you said yes, okay, great. If you said no, well, guess what? This is where we get into, we need to start doing a bit more research to establish if we still want to hold said cryptocurrency. Okay? That's it. That's all. You're not wrong if you don't know. I told y'all, I had to go through and rebalance my portfolio last year because I was like, why the heck do you still have this, Leona? Like this, you're not even this type of investor holding these things. Like, why? You're not even talking about the metaverse no more. Like, what are we doing? Okay. So with that being said, it's okay if you don't know. Now is the time for you to go do the research and see if this still fits your investing style and also the goal for your portfolio period. All right. Question number 2. King James said it's the 7-year super cycle, will be green until Christmas. I want to screenshot that because you know what? For my people who have been out here telling folks, oh, the bull market has started, we're gonna be on a run, and yada yada yada, whatever. If you're right, you're right. But if you're wrong, I just want a screenshot. I'm practicing. See, neuropathic probably gone, but I'm practicing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm collecting the data. KB, welcome in. Happy Friday. I'm collecting the data. Okay? Because I'm focused on collecting evidence to support whatever it is that's going on or my thought process. Okay? Y'all, we got to do better with these taps. Like, this is ridiculous. TikTok, man. There's no way we got all these people on here and I'm sitting here at 3.8. Come on. I'm appreciative for the ones that we got. Thank y'all. For everybody that has tapped the screen, I appreciate y'all. For everybody who has shared, I definitely appreciate y'all. For everybody who has reposted, I appreciate y'all. Too Saucy, welcome in. Miss Erica, thank you for liking. See what I'm saying? Flower Child, thank you for liking. I appreciate everybody that has done it. Miss Brown, thank you so very much for liking the live. Appreciate you. Mama Dukes, thank you. I appreciate y'all. See, I appreciate y'all. But for the rest of y'all, come on, man. If I'm out here taking away time from my family, Zena, welcome in. Taking away time from my family. I got a 6-year-old, y'all. She wants her mama attention all day, every day. Those of you that got kids, y'all already know how it go. Okay? You can share them. They not willing to share you. All right? So with that being said, I'm taking away time from my child to share with you all the things that I know, the things that I've learned, in hopes that you don't make the same mistakes I made going into my first bull market. Okay? And some of the experienced people that have been in the crypto space, they're sharing their insights too. So the least we could do, I would say, the least we could do is tap the screen. Okay? If you don't feel comfortable with sharing yet, okay, I'm not here to judge. Okay? But, tap the screen. Repost if you're feeling, generous. All right? If you haven't reposted yet, hit repost. If you feel comfortable with sharing, go ahead and share. All right? But at the very least, I'm asking y'all to tap the screen. Thank y'all so very much for those of you that have been tapping the screen. I appreciate y'all. All right. So, question number 2, when we are building our portfolio, okay? So that way we can have our profit-taking plan going into this bull market, all right, whenever it appears. So the second thing we're going to do is identify at what price we want to sell. Something that a good number of us did not do, which is what those of you on TikTok saw. We didn't do it. We watched our portfolio go down. Right. What's going on, Phantom Beat? I see you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Okay. Oh, my husband will have a field day with your comment, Phantom Beat. Phantom Beat on YouTube said November 14th, when ISO 220 finally kicks in, we may see a good pump. Tar Heel, welcome in. Miss Gigi, I see you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Right? My husband will have a field day with your comment. I'm not touching it. I need to get focused because it's already 7:30 and I'm behind. Okay. So at what point are we selling? Okay. So what does the conditions, look like for us? Okay. What do the conditions, market conditions, need to look like for us to say, I want to sell this particular cryptocurrency in my portfolio? Notice I didn't say at what price will you sell. I said what conditions would I consider selling. Price can be one consideration, right? Larry, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Price can be one consideration. But what else could change? So think about it right now for my people. All of us that made the mistake in the past and we didn't have a profit-taking plan going into our first bull market. What is one thing that you remember that you're like, if I could go back, I would have sold because this thing happened? Type it in the chat for us. Happy Battle Buddies out. What's one thing that you're like, when this changed, I should have sold. I wish I would have sold. Type it in the chat. Tar Heel, welcome back. Happy Friday. Martin, welcome back. Happy Friday. Go ahead, help your battle buddies out. What's one thing that you wish you would have paid attention to more during your first bull market as an experienced investor that would have told you, oh man, I should have sold at this point? Thank you for the heart, me, Martin. I appreciate you. Help your battle buddies out. Taking profits was the main thing for me. Phoenix Rising said, okay, I got you. What's one thing? Okay, so I give y'all one. So for me was definitely in the beginning, I should have established that I was going to sell a portion. I didn't want to, because I thought I had to sell all in order to take profit, and that was me. Again, when I started out, my way of thinking probably wasn't y'all way of thinking, okay? But for me, I wish that I would have established, like, hey, when price goes up, I'm going to sell this percentage, right? So whether that's 10% of the gains that I made, 20%, 30%, whatever, right? For me, that would have to be the condition. So let's say, example, let's say with Mana, I was up well over 100%. Well over 100%. Because remember, I started buying 30, 40 cent, whatever it was at the time. Okay? So, these bots be out of control on TikTok, boy. So for me, if I would have said, okay, when I'm up, let's say 100%, I'm going to take 20% of the profit, 30% of the profit, something like that. Does that make sense to everybody? Phantom Beat said, this time I'm dumping means when they run up and get gold again. So you're going to buy gold, physical gold. Phantom Beat. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's just Leona. That's something for me that if I did it again, I would have established when I'm up 100% at least, I'm going to take a certain percentage of profit. So I probably wouldn't take all of it. I would say for me, somewhere between 30-40%. Because I still want, if price continues to go up, I can still take more profit. That makes sense? Right? So you don't have to take all of it. And that's what I was thinking. Like, if I got to take profit, I got to sell all of my crypto. But then I won't have anything. Like, that's the way I was thinking. Versus, no, you don't have to sell all of it. You can just sell a percentage of the gains that you made and still keep some in there. And if it continues to go up, cool. Now, if it continues to go up and it goes up another 100%, guess what? Boom. I can now take another 30%, 40%. You know what I'm saying? I can sell that percentage of gains. Right? So that's just me. Right? Phoenix Rising said exactly. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's something to think about, y'all. Okay? Think about it. What are the conditions that need to happen in the market for you to say, all right, I think this is a good time for me to sell? All right, so let's say the reason why you're investing in it, or you initially wanted to invest in it, that's not happening now. So let's say the problem that they said that they were going to solve, they're no longer focused on that and they shifted directions. Well, if that's the reason why I invested and you're no longer doing that, why am I holding you? Example, for me, when I decided to start getting rid of stuff in my portfolio in 2025, the first two things came to my mind was I had Mana and I had Ingecoin. Leona, why do you still have Mana and Ingecoin? The only reason why you got it back then was because of all the talk about the metaverse. I had Sandbox, and I'm like, you're not even into the metaverse, and that's not even a conversation, and that's not the type of investor you are right now. Like, you're not into the high risk type of stuff. So why are you still holding this? So for me, the reason why I was holding it didn't match to why I was still holding it in 2025. So guess what? It was time for me to sell. Period. Right? If your position becomes oversized, meaning if you are investing in a small cap cryptocurrency, but you know that you want to be more large cap, blue chip crypto heavy, right? And then that meme coin or that small cap coin, right? It blows up. Something happens or whatever, and now this particular cryptocurrency is a larger percentage of your portfolio than your large cap cryptos. Well, guess what? You can now sell some of that, especially if it's up well over 100%. And you can reduce your position size, take the profit, put it into an asset that you want to put it into, or just take the profit and do whatever you was going to do with it, right? But at the end of the day, that's it. Let's say your financial goal is reached. That is a condition that could trigger you to sell. I hit my target. I now hold, let's say your goal is to hold 5,000 XRP. Okay, cool. You say once I hit 5,000 XRP, I'm not buying any more XRP. I'm just throwing out a number, okay? So let's say you hold 5,000 XRP. You're like, I don't want to hold any more XRP. 5,000 is my goal. I did that. Now you can, guess what? Rotate that capital that you had allotted for XRP into something else. Got it? Phoenix Rising said 2020 was a different time for real. The metaverse talks everybody ready to buy real estate in the metaverse. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I had those doggone coins. And now I'm not even like that. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, let it go, girl. Hey, what's going on, Saga City? I see you. Happy Friday. Welcome back. Let's go. You say, sorry, major back. Online putting a little dribble on your temple. Hey, bro, your sayings be getting me. I love them. I love them. I love them. Let's go. Oh, another condition, y'all, at which you could consider selling, right, is when the risk associated with holding that particular cryptocurrency is uncomfortable for you. Okay? Maybe you're like, I don't know. If you're starting to develop anxiety with holding that cryptocurrency, dog, maybe you shouldn't be holding it. Maybe it's time to let that go. If the fundamentals deteriorate, maybe it's time to let that go. Okay? Maybe it needs a ton of liquidity. Maybe it's time to let that go. All right? I'm not telling you that's the reason why. I'm just saying these are situations. These are different types of conditions where you can look at it and be like, okay, maybe these are things that I need to look at now. You know what I'm saying? He said, I sold 20% of my FED when it ran up over $1.10 and got 1 million ZBEC at $700. Then that ran up. See, like, that's it. You just rotate according to how you want your portfolio to look. There are certain cryptocurrencies you don't have to hold forever if that's not your intent. But just know that you should separate your portfolio, okay? So if you know you're holding certain cryptocurrencies for the long term and it's not for you, it's for the next generation or whatever, then that should be in a separate wallet. The stuff that you know you're going to be rotating out because once it hit a certain, target for you, whether that's at price, whether that's in balance, whether that's at number of coins that you're holding, whatever it is, that should be in a separate wallet, okay? Whether that's a hot wallet or cold wallet, totally up to you. All right. And at the end of the day, like I said, I can't tell you what to do with your portfolio because at this moment, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. So these are just suggestions. Okay. These are just suggestions. But I know for me, Bitcoin is not being sold. I learned the hard way. All right. Everything else is on the table. But Bitcoin is not being sold. Period. Everything else I hold. Let me rephrase it. Everything else I hold is on the table. Okay? Bitcoin, not on the table to be sold, ever. Got it? That's the owner. What you said, Saga City? Wait, what? What you said? Caleb said, bull run 100% here, ain't no fake. Okay. Saga City said, get out of XRP, your extra liquidity. Ooh, my husband would not like that. My husband would not like that comment. Oh, shoot. But anyway, so at the end of the day, like I said, all of that to say, for us, a sale decision doesn't always have to begin with price. Okay? That's it. All right? It don't have to always begin with price. There are other conditions that we can look at to help us to make the decision on whether we're going to sell or we're going to hold. All right. VA for lovers, welcome in. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you. All right. Third question. All right. Third question for us as an investor, sometimes we think there are only, two ways for us to go, right? We either hold everything or we sell everything. I told y'all that's how I thought. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, VA for lovers, right? That's how I thought going into my first bull market. I thought that if I was to take profit, I had to sell my entire crypto portfolio and then I wouldn't have anything, right? Thank you for the roses. I appreciate you, Saga City. Well, clearly I was wrong. Okay. So it depends on your strategy. It depends on the person's strategy. If you're going to take partial profit, like I mentioned, that I wish I would have known earlier, or maybe, you might say, you know what, no, I'm not going to take partial profit because this is for the next generation. Okay. So depending on a person's strategy, partial profit taking, may be something they want to evaluate. All right, that may be something you want to do going into the next bull market. So write down, under these conditions is when I will sell my whatever you're going to sell. I don't even want to name any cryptocurrencies. So whatever you hold in your portfolio, under these conditions, I may consider selling these particular cryptocurrencies. Okay? I'm not telling you what you should do. I'm not saying taking partial profit is part of your profit taking plan. You got to do what works for you. What I hope you're getting across from this is me teaching you that your reading strategy should answer the question before the emotions answer it for you. Because my emotions answer for me, and I watch my portfolio go down the freaking drain because I didn't know that I could sell part of my cryptocurrency and keep some of it. You don't know what you don't know. Hopefully tonight, y'all know that. So for those of you that are watching me on TikTok, if you missed any part of this live stream, you can always watch the replay on YouTube. That's Prosperity Calls on YouTube, okay? So he said that's good. All right, I appreciate you. So yeah, so the fourth thing is we need to know where our money is going to go. All right, so when we take profit, right, where is that money going? What are you doing with it? Is it going to pay off debt? I've done that. Is it going to an account to buy some property? Okay, is it going into a different asset class? I've done that. Y'all, I've used some of my crypto to pay to get, when I had my Beamer, right? I paid to get that fixed because that was, ooh, Jesus. I don't even want to talk about how much that costs to get fixed. But the point is, I used it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, that's a lot of money. Thank God for this portfolio. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the... Laughing at me. Saga City say, why sell when you can borrow against it? All right, so I'm going to say this too. One more time, y'all. I got to make sure I say this before I answer this. Okay? I am not a licensed financial advisor. So what I'm about to say is not giving you financial advice. Okay? This is Leona and Leona only's perspective, opinion. Okay? You can take it or leave it. All right? Beamers are expensive. They are. And now I got a Benz. Like I didn't learn my lesson at all, child. Didn't learn it all. But so with that being said, when it comes to borrowing against cryptocurrency, me personally, I'm not a fan of that. The only reason why I'm not a fan of that is because of how volatile cryptocurrency is. Okay? I am not a fan of borrowing against crypto because of how volatile the cryptocurrency market is. Now, once it mellows out a bit and it, kind of like how the stock market moves, if that happens, if that were to ever happen, maybe I would change my tune, okay? But for me, I'm more comfortable, it's just me, I'm more comfortable with borrowing against my stock portfolio than I am of borrowing against cryptocurrency, period. I've done it multiple times when it comes to the stock market because, hey, listen, what's going on? Go DJ, cause that's my DJ. Go DJ, cause that's my DJ. What's up, Go DJ Unstoppable? I see you. Welcome in, happy Friday. So yeah, so that's just Leona, okay? There are some, like I told y'all, you gotta know what type of risk you're willing to take. Okay? You gotta know what type of risk you're willing to take or your risk tolerance. My risk tolerance is not that high when it comes to borrowing against cryptocurrency. All right? I feel like I'm putting myself in a position where my crypto can be yanked. And I'm not giving away my crypto. I barely stake. You know what I'm saying? I stake, but I don't stake like that. Like, I have some of my Cardano stake, I have some of my Ethereum stake, but I don't stake all of my Cardano. I don't stake all of my Ethereum. You see what I'm saying? But that's just Leona. There's a little bit of risk. You know, I'm comfortable with taking a little bit of risk, but I'm not about no. That's just me. God bless those who are comfortable with doing it, but Leona's not comfortable with doing it. Okay? So Saga City said, or financial, I can't even read that because I'm not gonna tell people that. I'm not gonna tell people that. I would tell people, if that's something you're comfortable with doing, make sure you do the research on it. Okay? What are the risks that comes with borrowing against your cryptocurrency with said platform, whichever platform you're going to use? Because I know that there's a risk associated with borrowing against my cryptocurrency with Charles Schwab. I'm aware. But for me, that risk is very small because I'm not borrowing. First of all, I'm not allowed to borrow a certain amount anyway. But second of all, I'm not borrowing the total value of my doggone portfolio anyway. I can, my max is 40% of my portfolio. That's the most I would borrow ever. That makes sense? So there has to be, you have to know what risks are associated with that. Okay? With the platform. All right? Phoenix Rising said, I prefer selling off than borrowing against. You know, again, you got to do what works for you. Saga City said, yes, there is risk associated with it. If you're over leveraged, you could be liquidated. Absolutely. Okay? Some people don't know that, though. Just like they don't know that with stocks. But that's why I said, before you even consider borrowing against your assets, you need to know what risks come with that. Okay? And what does the number look like? So let's say you're like, hey, I want to borrow 30% of my crypto portfolio. Okay, cool. So which cryptocurrencies are you allowed to borrow? What's the risk associated with this platform? You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff. You need to know those things. These Kitchen said staking is about it for me, no borrowing. Exactly. That, and even with staking, there's a small percentage for me. I'm not staking all of my Ethereum. I'm not staking all of my Cardano. I'm not doing that. There is a percentage of the Ethereum I hold, a percentage of the Cardano I hold that I am comfortable with staking. But it's me. It's my comfort level. Your comfort level is your comfort level. You know, that's the whole point of these conversations every week, y'all. You got to find what works for you. I can share all day. Miss Gigi can share all day. Saga City can share all day. Dee's Kitchen can share all day. Right? Phantom can share all day on YouTube. You know, Phoenix Rise can share all day. Like, we all can share all day, but we have to make sure that we take in the information and then say, okay, this is what I'm comfortable with. Absolutely not on that. I'm keeping this. I'm discarding that. We got to find what works for us. Not just do it. Because that's what I did in the beginning, and I found, girl, you wasted a lot of money. If you would have just taken the time to learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, the type of investor you are, instead of just buy this, buy that. Oh, they said buy this, buy that. Okay, they said buy this, buy that. All right, they said buy. Like, no. I waste so much money when I first started out as a crypto investor. I just be like, Jesus, my portfolio would have looked a lot better than it does today. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm just saying, I'm being transparent. I wish I'd known then what I know now. But you got to go through it, right? So you can help the next person out. So, like I said, we need to know where our money is going. So if you sold your crypto tomorrow and you realize, oh shoot, I got $10,000 in gains. Hey, well, what happens to that $10,000? Let me know in the chat. What happens to that $10,000? Like, where's it going? You got $10,000 in gains. Where's it going? Go DJ say, buying all them meme coins. Nah, I definitely wasn't one of them people buying a bunch of meme coins. The only thing I have is Shiba. That's it. You know, Saga City said, lessons. Talk about it. Okay, we have lived and learned. All right, so Tar Heel Girl said tax about 45%. Okay, so that means that 10,000 you're saying put away 45% of that for taxes, and then it's just me. Mr. D said pay off debt. Okay, I've done that too. You know what I'm saying? Miss Gigi said I'm learning today. Listen, every day. When we had these conversations, I'd be like, Jesus, I wish I would have known. Good Lord. I wish I would have known. But, you know, help the next person out, right? So I saw a person say pay off some debt. Maybe put a portion of the profit into your I Got It fund. So that way, if something unexpected was to happen, lose your job, get laid off, y'all know we love here in the U.S. We love to have these government shutdowns and stuff. So let's say you're a government employee. I don't know if I got any government employees watching me, live or the replay. But like, let's say there's a government shutdown. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to put some money into that I Got It fund, so that way, if there was another government shutdown, I'm covered. If there's a medical expense that your healthcare don't cover, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Go DJ said buy some more equipment. There we go. Okay? Saga City said, in my opinion, there's only one clear winner looking at the numbers. Okay, what you talking about? What's going on? What you talking about? Phantom said that you can lend your assets for yield. See, that's another one. Yield farming. It's too much for me. Again, I'm not saying for someone to not do it. I'm saying I did some research on it. I learned a bit about it. I said it's too much for me. I'm good on that. Again, I know what type of investor I am. I know my risk level and risk tolerance. For me, yield farming is too much. You know what I'm saying? Yield farming is too much. I'm good on it. Okay? I don't want people to borrow and all this. I'm already doing staking. I feel like that's enough of a stretch for me. Right? So Phoenix Rising said, oh my bad. TikTok blocked it. So Phoenix Rising said 10K, 90% going to work, 10% to adventures and lifestyle. Come on. You gotta live, child. You gotta live. Right. So Saga City says, sorry, maybe you have government employees looking at you. No. I don't know any. Nobody said they are. But no, this is my old unit. I still have it. One of the recruiters, the retention NCO gave it to me. So I was like, okay, I still got it. The color look good on me, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so yeah. So D's Kitchen said, he said, I do that with $10. Hey, do what you do. D's Kitchen said, see what happened with Terra Luna. Yield farming is crazy risky. Right. That's again, you do what you do, what you're comfortable with doing. Let me just say that. You do what you're comfortable with doing. Leona is not comfortable with the yield farming. Leona is not comfortable with borrowing against my cryptocurrency. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not telling you not to do it because legally I can't do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? And God willing, because I didn't get to answer you, Miss Gigi, my bad. But God willing, before the end of this year, okay, I have my Series 65, God willing. It's just been the studying. Y'all don't understand. Like, some of y'all might understand. You know what I'm saying? When you're an entrepreneur and you married and you got little kid, you don't have as much time as you think you got. Let's just say that. You don't have as much time as you think you got. So it's the studying part that, yeah, that's how. Yes, sis said it. Stretch, child. I'm stretched thin. so so I thought that I was gonna have it by the summertime, like pass the test and everything, and it's too much, So I know he said he got to sacrifice that sleep. Shh, I know. It's just I was doing it for a few weeks and I'm just like I'm tired, and then she don't sleep through the night. Then I got this dog that be barking, and cause it's cats that be coming up on the porch and stuff. It's just a mess. So anyway, a whole bunch of excuses, y'all. So God willing, God willing, before the end of the year, at least I'm praying that I have my Series 65 complete. Pass the test, good to go. Okay, that's God willing. So we'll see. So yeah. So with that being said, right, we talked about just identifying like where our profit is gonna go. Okay. Said I feel like ETH will bring it down. It rejected off the 200. Okay. Somebody said yes, the trap. Hey, I'm with you. Flex Banks. Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you so very much, Bat. I appreciate you. What was the last comment? My bad. I missed it, Saga City. Hold on. Let me go back. What I miss? I answered you. The last message I see from you said you got on the Army PT shirt, and I said, "No, I got this from my old retention NCO." Yeah, and then I said that prior to that, when you was talking about the government employees, I was like, nobody identified themselves as government employees on the live stream, so I don't know if I have any government employees here. But yeah, so I don't work a job, y'all. I'm an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed and fortunate to be an entrepreneur for the past 6 years. 5 years, my bad. 5 years. So I get to do what I do every day, you know. So I do not trade crypto. I have started back trading gold, but that's through futures because I used to do it through Forex, but the Forex brokers have been trash for the past pretty much 2 years, and that has frustrated the heck out of me. So I finally decided that I was gonna, give futures a try. It's just my scheduling with everything I got going on. It's atrocious. I ain't even gonna hold you. So I don't even trade as much as I would like to. You know what I'm saying? Which sucks. Or at least get a chance to like really study the charts like I used to. It's just been really, really busy this year for me. So yeah. But anyway, so with that being said, we talked about it. All right. At the end of the day, something I want us to remember, all right, as we're building up this portfolio is for us when we make this money, that doesn't automatically mean that we know how to manage our money. Okay. We need to establish the plan. Okay, we need to establish the conditions at which we're going to do some rebalancing, whether that's selling, whether that's exchanging, whatever we're going to do. Okay, so if I don't decide, what my profits are for, it is very easy for those profits to become another purchase, or it's very possible for those profits to turn into, or to disappear, I should say, like we all talked about earlier with our first bull market. We watched the gains that we had made during our first bull market for each person. That was probably at a different point in time. But for our first bull market, each one of us said we watched those gains just go down, disappear until, like what I said, I remember during the bear market for 2022 going into 2023, at one point my portfolio was down 85%. And I was just sitting there like, Jesus, is it gonna keep going? like what happens if it just keeps going? Like, do I owe somebody something now? I kid you not. That was my way of thinking. Like, do I owe her something? Like, do I go in the negative? Like, what happens if it just keeps going down? So, you don't know what you don't know. All right. And that's why we just got to continue to have these conversations. Okay. So, For us, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a pause, all right, and then we're gonna look at the charts, and we're gonna talk about this stuff that we've been, discussing. We're gonna look at the charts to help us to have the conversation. Y'all ready to look at the charts now? I'm gonna give us about 15 minutes, roughly or so. About 15 minutes. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me fix this for a second. 1 second. Be right back. 1 second. All right. So one thing I did was when my portfolio doubled, I pulled my principal, slept much better. I wish I would have did that the first time around, but I didn't. But that's a good note for everybody else, right? That's a good note for the rest of y'all. Okay. All right. So let's go. We're going to start looking at the charts, and we're going to take a pause for the calls, so that way we can see where we're at. Okay. Let's see where we're at. So the first one up, we're going to look at the U.S. dollar index. Okay. Has anybody looked at these things today? Like the dollar index, 10-year treasury yield, any of those things. Have y'all looked at that? Yes, I use TradingView. Roman said I look every day. Okay. Phoenix said not today. Yeah, I haven't looked today. And the only reason why I know that Bitcoin had hit the price that it had hit was because what was that? Article came through on my phone, and I was like, "What's this?" And then I saw that it said 79K. I'm like, oh, "Okay," and I think that was from CoinDesk or something. All right, so we're on. Boom, got it. So we have the. Oops, my bad, y'all. And this from yesterday. Okay, so let's go. Yep, Coinbase sent an alert. Yep. And they do it for like a whole bunch of the cryptocurrencies. Like this one is up 10%, yada yada. Take this off the charger. Alright. I'm trying to turn it around. There you go. Okay, so first one we're looking at, y'all. First one we're looking at is the 10-year. I said the 10-year. Jesus, the U.S. dollar index. So we're on TradingView.com. Okay, TradingView.com. Y'all, this website is free. All right, you can choose to pay for it if you want to. You don't have to pay for it. Thank you, Smooth. I see you. Appreciate you. Okay, you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. Especially if you're just looking at the charts. I would say don't even pay for it. All right. So yeah, so U.S. dollar index, this is one of the first things I look at, okay, when we're doing our dashboard that I'm talking about. So there's 5 things that I look at to help me with having an idea of what type of investor environment I may be walking into when it comes to Bitcoin specifically, okay? So let's go. So when it comes to this, what we're going to look at, we just want to see if it's green, that's signaling to us for this day, because we're on the day time frame, okay, for this day. All right. For this day, if it's green, that means that the dollar is strengthening, or you can say it's strong for today. Got it? If the candle is red, that means that the dollar is weakening. Okay. Hey, Roman, I don't know who you think you're talking to, bruh. But everybody on here is not an experienced investor or trader. So I'm going to need you to fix your tone, bruh, or you can go ahead to Block City. Okay? Alright, so you can go on to Block City then. Have a good day. Anyway, so, I don't know what's wrong with these kids. But anyway, so if it's green, y'all, that means that the dollar is strengthening or is considered to be strong. If the color is red, if the candle is red, then that means that it is considered to be weakening or it is weak. Everybody got it? Judah laughing. I'm just saying, like, dog, I'm sitting here being nice to everybody, and I'm taking time away from my family. Cut it out. You don't even know me. This your first time in my live stream, but he ain't got to be back, so it's all good. All right, so we're gonna look at the day, the current candle. Okay, so the market has closed. This is the current candle. All right, Friday, August 21st, 2026. Everybody see that at the bottom of my screen. Where my cursor is at the bottom of the screen is Friday 21 August 2026. All right, cool. So that tells us when the market closed, when the stock market closed, the dollar has a green candle. So what does the green candle mean for us on the US dollar index, y'all? Type it in the chat. Steve, welcome in. Happy Friday. What does the green candle mean for us on the US dollar index? What does it mean for us? Okay, yeah, it's going up, so that means it's strengthening, right? Or it's considered to be strong. The dollar is strong. All right, so we want to make a note of that. So we're either going to write it down or memorize it. Totally up to you, whatever you think you can do. All right, so we're going to write down the DXY is up, because we know if the DXY is up, that means the dollar is strong or is strengthening for the day. Cool? All right, so next we're going to move on to the 10-year Treasury yield. All right, next we're moving on to the 10-year Treasury yield. So let me stop sharing that, and then I'm going to pull up Market Watch. All right, and y'all, if it's some other website you use to help you to identify it, that's perfectly fine. The Real Boss Lady, welcome in. Happy Friday. That's your prerogative, okay? These are the ones that I use. They're very helpful to me. Okay, there are some things that I have used in the past, but I've adjusted as of late. All right, so 10-year Treasury yield is coming up. Boom. And then here we go for y'all on TikTok. There we go. All right, so we're on marketwatch.com right here, okay? And it has all of that, y'all. So, but you can Google it. Thomas, welcome in. Happy Friday. DJ, welcome in. Happy Friday. All right, so this was last updated today, August 21st at 5:01 p.m. Eastern Time, okay? So I want you to take a note of this particular percentage, and we're going to look at yesterday's. So we need to see yesterday and today. Black Gold, welcome in. Happy Friday. We're going to look at yesterday and today. Thomas, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. And we want to see if the Treasury yield is up or down compared to yesterday. So if the Treasury yield is up, that's telling us that money is going to be a bit more expensive. So if money is a bit more expensive, that means that people are not going to be as likely to spend, meaning to put their money into riskier assets. Okay? If it is down, that means that the dollar for us is not as expensive as it was previously, and money may circulate a bit more, okay? That's not a guarantee. That's just pretty much like a consensus, you know what I'm saying? On average, that's what you'll see. All right, so we're going to go down to where it says historical quotes, Jesus. And then we're going to look at yesterday and compare yesterday to today to determine if it is up or down, okay? You said Bull Market Inc. is another one to go to, Thomas, to look at the 10-year Treasury? Is that what you're saying? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Because we're on the 10-year Treasury yield. What are we talking about? All right, so yesterday was the 20th. So we're going over here. Oh, you said, yeah, okay. Bull market starting. Okay. Yesterday was 4.706%. Today, 4.736. So are we up or down when it comes to the Treasury yield compared to yesterday? Type up in the chat if we're up, down if it's down compared to yesterday. All right, awesome. There we go. Cool. Keyshawn up. Cool. So now we have, thank you Phoenix Rising for typing this in here. So we have, boom. So we have the dollar is up compared to yesterday. and the 10-year treasury is up compared to yesterday. Write that down or take a mental note. All right? Because now what we're going to do is, thank you, I see you. Miss Gigi put it in there too. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to look at um, the NASDAQ, right? We want to look at the NASDAQ because we want to see if people are putting their money behind our growth assets, technology, riskier assets, okay? Technology is considered to be a bit riskier, right? So we want to see if people are putting their money behind that. All right, let's go. So now I'm going to share this. So if it is green, y'all, that means that for today, risk is on, okay? If it is red, if the candle is red, then that tells us risk is off for today. So people may be reducing their positions when it comes to certain technology, okay? Gotcha. So it's definitely a toss up here with this, whether it's a bull market right now, if it's a trap. Because there's some people coming in here, yeah, it's a bull market right now. And then there's a good number of y'all saying, nope, it's a trap. No bull market yet. It's a nice pump, but we're still in a bear market. That's what Mr. Joe said. All right, so we're looking at QQQ, okay? This is our way of checking the NASDAQ to see if risk is on or risk is off. Again, we're on the 1-day time frame using the trading view to help us to look at the chart, okay? We're on the day chart, and we want to see if the candle is green, that's telling us that price is going up, and there are more people being investing in our technology at the moment, okay? So risk is on. When the candle is red, that's telling us risk is off. People are reducing their exposure to these growth assets, technology assets, companies, and so on and so forth. They're reducing their positions. Got it? So we're going to look at the last candle, which is today when the stock market closed. Notice it says Friday, 21 August, 2026. All right? This candle is red. So is risk on or risk off as it pertains to technology? Type it in the chat. Risk on or risk off? This candle that I'm circling right now. Does this tell us risk on or risk off? Type it in the chat. It's just me. You must have just joined. Appreciate you for joining. The candle that I'm circling right now is risk on or risk off? All right. Battle said off. Miss Gigi on. Looks like a downtrend. Okay, Black Gold, thank you for saying I don't know. Y'all, when the candle is red, that means that price opened at a higher price point right here. Price opened at, oops, it moved down. Price opened at $7.15. I mean, $715.38. It closed, this red box is $713.44. So that tells us that people were reducing their positions as it pertains to technology. All those ones, welcome in, happy Friday. That means people were selling, y'all. They were selling their shares in specific technology companies. QQQ represents technology companies. So that tells us risk was off for today. Got it? Risk was off for today. If the candle was green, that means people were buying into it. So that tells us that people are taking the risk with technology and our growth assets. When the candle is red, that means price is going down, and it's possible that people are selling some of their positions, and the risk is not as great as previously, okay? Because we had price close lower than where it opened. So Phoenix Rising put it in here. Let's go. So our DXY is up, okay? 10-year treasury is up. And then our NASDAQ QQQ is down, okay? Risk is off. Everybody got those three, either written down or memorized. Yes or no in the chat. Y'all got those three written down or memorized? Yes or no in the chat. We're gonna move on to NVIDIA. All right, cool. Gotcha. So now we're moving on to NVIDIA. Let me go ahead and pull that up. All right, so again, we're on NVIDIA. We're using TradingView to help us to see. All right, this is the daytime frame. Squall said it's a Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin a trap? That's the question I'm asking everybody. It says it on here. Is it a trap, or are we in our bull market officially? I've answered that already. What I think, but the Egyptian magician. Welcome in. Happy Friday. All right, I've already answered that. So we're on the day for NVIDIA. We want to see how are people feeling about AI? How are people feeling about technology? This is another way to just get evidence on what type of investing environment we may be walking into as it pertains to Bitcoin. For me, this is what Leona does. You don't have to look at this stuff if you don't want to. Leona do. All right? You don't have to, but Leona do. Cool? Cool. Thank you for saying happy Friday back. I appreciate you, the Egyptian magician. What's going on? Peyton said, I think BTC is going to go in my opinion. Okay. Thank you, Squalls. I appreciate you. Let's go. Thank you for the love you so much. I appreciate you. All right. So, again, when the candle is green, that is good. Okay. That means people are believing in this asset. They're putting their money into it. The risk is worth it, right? When the candle is red, people are reducing their position. They are selling. Got it? Okay, cool. So, this is where we are. The market closed already. The candle is red. What is NVIDIA telling us? Are people buying into this technology? Are people still believing in AI just for today? Or are people saying, hold up, I got to reduce my positions right now because I got to put my money somewhere safe? What are we thinking? I'm circling the candle. We good or no? Better say they scared. Ooh, they scared, child. They are scared. Yeah. All right. So NVIDIA is down. Yep, they selling out. Okay. So we need to make a note of that, right? So we have the the US dollar index is up. 10-year treasury up. NASDAQ/QQQ is down. NVIDIA is down. Everybody got those four. Next one we're going to do, last one we're going to do, and then we're going to do our part, and we'll look at Bitcoin price, or the chart actually. The last one we're going to do is Bitcoin ETF flows. Now, there are multiple places that I look. There's two places that I look, but I have gravitated to CoinGlass more because they update pretty fast. Bitbo used to, but I don't know what's going on. They don't update as fast as CoinGlass did. Mo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Albert Josh said it's a trap coming down, economy, inflation. So I should have took account. I should have took account of how many people said it's a trap and how many people said that the bull market is here. Dang it, I didn't do it. Because I'm starting to feel like more people are saying it's a trap versus the bull market is here. Dog, I should have did that. How do you do a poll on here? Oh, hi. Thank you. That's a good idea. Let me do this. Hold on. How do I state it though? It say clearly state your question. Where do I type it? Ah, man. How do I get it off? Oh, shoot. God dang it. I don't know how to get it out. Okay, so red is bull market. Blue is yeah, I was gonna say red is bull market. Blue is because it got the crying emoji. So blue would be the bull trap because it got the crying emoji. So if you believe it's a bull trap, go to the blue. Click on the blue. If you believe we're in the bull market now, click the red. I couldn't type it. I don't know, child, y'all. I don't know TikTok like that. I'm still learning it. I should say that. That's probably better. I'm still learning it. Than saying I don't know it like that. Okay. So yeah. So type click on bull trap or wait the heck? It went away that fast? Child. Let me do this one more time. Let me see if I could do it. Quick poll. What is that? These little net things. It still didn't let me do it. Oh yeah, it said I saw it. It said 60 seconds. So yeah, blue is it's a bull trap. Red is it's a bull market right now. Click on the color. Red is we're in a bull market right now. Blue is it's a bull trap right now. Red is it's a bull market. Blue is it's a bull trap. Click on it. Which one you think it is? Select that emoji. Select the emoji on the screen. The smiling emoji is a bull market. The crying emoji is we're in a bull trap. Cracking tone, welcome in. Happy Friday. Smiling emoji is we're in a bull market. Crying emoji, we're in a bull trap. We're experiencing a bull trap. I see y'all. I see y'all. It says 6 seconds left. Red, bull market. Blue, bull trap. Hey, okay. So yeah, so what I was guessing was right. That more people were saying it's a bull trap than a bull market. We're gonna see. Y'all, by the end of next week, okay? Because typically, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. That's what my grandma used to say. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. I'm gonna show y'all on the chart what a bull trap look like using Bitcoin, since we're using Bitcoin, right? Okay, so let me get focused. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's what grandma said. I can show you better than I can tell you, and that's what we're gonna do. So last one, okay, and then we're gonna do our traffic light method, and then we'll go to the chart and we'll look at where it is, and then I'm gonna show y'all bull traps. Okay. So we're on CoinGlass.com slash ETF slash Bitcoin. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm gonna go down here to where it has the different dates, and we're going to go to the total column, and I want to see if in the total column, if it is green, that tells us that institutional investors are definitely putting their money behind Bitcoin spot ETFs. If the number is red in the total column, that tells us that they are reducing their exposure to Bitcoin spot ETFs, so they're selling their positions. Got it? Okay, so green is positive, red is negative in the total column. Cool, cool. So let's go. So this is today. Boom. We're green. Yesterday was also green. Okay, so I want you to take a mental note that we have the Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF flows is positive. Okay, Bitcoin spot ETF flows are positive. Inflows are positive. Everybody got it? So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to establish what type of environment we're walking into, or at least do a good guess, our best guess. It said nice bull trap, still being careful though. I got you, Phantom. I got you. So let me add this on here. All right. Oh. Say the big boys buying it up, retail buyers selling. Yeah, so that's the I said this the other day, and I know some people may not agree with me, but as a retail investor, we don't have the type of money to move the market as fast as the market has moved these past few days. We don't have that type of money. You know what I'm saying? The people that are putting billions upon billions in it, they're the ones that's moving the market like that, y'all. So let's just follow the money. That's all we're doing. We're following the money. You know, at the end of the day. Okay? Um, where is that? Bam. All right. So for my people, this is your first time here. You might be like, Jesus, Leona, I don't get it. It's okay. Okay? Y'all gonna be alright. We'll work through that thing. Okay? But right now, let me move this down here. He said XLM is all I need. Well, kudos. Congratulations to you. Okay? So let's turn this down. Turn this around. Okay, I'm gonna break these colors down for y'all. So when I ask y'all, so what type of investing environment are we walking into when it comes to crypto? I'm gonna say, is it green, yellow, or red? Well, Leona, how do I know if it's green, yellow, or red? Let me break it down. So green tells us that we're in a high confidence environment, meaning um, there is risk on when it comes to technology, right? What does that look like with those 5 indicators that we just went over? The US dollar index should be down. Okay? Treasury yield should be down. All right? We should see Nvidia and QQQ both up. That means both of them should have had green candles for today. And then we need to see positive Bitcoin ETF flows. Does everyone have green? Green means for those 5 indicators, we should see the dollar is down, treasury yield is down, QQQ and Nvidia both are up, and we have positive ETF or spot ETF flows. That's green. Red, on the other hand, okay, is we have the dollar is up, treasury yield is up, QQQ and Nvidia are down, and we have negative spot Bitcoin ETF flows. That means the number in the total column for the spot Bitcoin ETF is red. Everybody got it? So red is telling us we need to chill out. Risk is not being taken on like that. So we might want to push pause on our investing momentarily. That's not a requirement. That's not a guarantee, y'all. That's just a hold up. Let me watch how this play out before I put any more money into the market. Got it? So again, in order for you to say it's red, Leona, you need to see that the dollar and treasury yield are both up. Nvidia and QQQ are both down. And there is negative spot Bitcoin ETF inflows. Does everybody understand red? If you understand green and red right now, I need y'all to put something green in the chat and something red in the chat. If everybody understands what a green environment looks like and a red environment looks like, I need you to put something green and something red in the chat. So that could be a green circle, a check mark like Phoenix Rising put, red. Yep, there we go. Then did green and red heart. There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Cool. So now, if it's not green and it's not red, then it's clearly what? Yellow. That means it's mixed signals. Everything is not in alignment. Okay? So I'm not going to say it's all over the place, but something is off. Got it? So if it's not green, where you have the dollars down, the treasury yield's down, Nvidia's up, QQQ's up, there's positive spot ETF flows, right? Then that means it's either yellow or red, right? Well, if it's not red, because we have the dollar is up, treasury yield is up, QQQ is down, Nvidia is down, and then there's negative spot Bitcoin ETFs flows, then that means we're yellow. So based on the 5 things that we looked at today, are we green, yellow, or red? Put the color emoji in the chat. Are we green, yellow, or red? Put the color emoji in the chat. Said, look, Master said it's a trap. Look at the yen. We just did a vote. So more people agree with you, look, Master, that it's a trap. If you're like, I don't know if it's green, yellow, or red, Leona, put IDK in the chat. It's okay if you don't know. All right? It's okay if you don't know. Mama Duke said yellow. Yep. Phoenix Rising said proceed with caution. Hello. You might want to just check it out on Monday, child. Just wait until the stock market opens back up on Monday. You know? Right, yellow. Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do, okay? So I'm with y'all. All right. The reason why it's yellow for the people who don't know and you didn't feel comfortable putting IDK in the chat. The reason it's yellow is because the Nvidia and QQQ were both down, but but the Bitcoin spot ETFs was positive. If it was going to be red, then that means that we should have negative spot Bitcoin ETF flows, right? Because the dollar is up, okay? Treasury is up, then that means that we should have had negative for the Bitcoin spot ETFs, okay? We didn't have that. We had positive. So that's why it's mixed signals, okay? When we see that, anything can happen. Typically, when we see that and there's no real deal news associated with it, we would see that the market would be moving sideways, okay? So let's see what it looks like today. So let me put this up. And then I'm going to turn the screen around. And once we do this, y'all, once we look at it, then I'm going to show y'all what, how we identify our bull traps on the chart. Okay? And then we're going to wrap it up. I know we went longer today than I anticipated. But thank y'all so very much for bearing with me. Here we go again. All right, let's go. So let's turn it around here. So we're on Bitcoin for the day. We're back on TradingView, y'all. We're on Bitcoin for the day. I'm not on a specific exchange, okay? So it's just crypto. Got it? So for a person that comes in here, which crypto exchange are you looking at? I'm not looking at a specific crypto exchange. It just says crypto. Okay? So this is where we are. This is a new trading day. Remember, cryptocurrency is traded 24/7. Okay? Crypto is traded 24/7. So right now, we have the market kind of slowing down. We're going to decide what we're going to do. It's the weekend. Okay? What's going on, Mr. Bill? Happy Friday. Okay? Right now, we're looking at, I'm on the daytime frame, Chase. So right now it's just saying, hey, look, we got to figure it out. It's a new trading day. The new trading day started at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So you're not going to see a whole lot of movement. Remember, it's the weekend. Everything else is closed. The stock market is closed. Okay. So we won't be able to see any real deal movement, right, until next week when the stock market opens back up. Okay. Now, remember what I told y'all. I said, if we see the next week, by the end of next week, if Bitcoin closes and it erases all these gains, okay, it erased all these gains on the week time frame. I'm about to show y'all in a second. It erased all these gains. So the expectation is that Bitcoin closes back below this 67K area, okay? That would be the expectation for me, all right? If that happens, that is a clear as day bull trap that we just experienced this week. Okay? Now, how are we going to see that? We're not going to see it on the daytime frame. I'm going to move to the week. Okay? Follow along. When we go to the week, that means each one of these pretty candles here represents 1 week of price moving up or down. Okay? 1 week of price moving up or down. Lucky Matt said photo op news is over and no substance came from the meeting. Right, there we go. See? Okay? So let's look at past bull traps. What? Look at this. Boy, look at here. Look at here. Now, remember, for those of you that were here before, we were sitting here going back and forth about, are we still in a correction? Are we still in a bear market? Or are we in the accumulation phase? There were some people who argued me down and said, no, we're in an accumulation phase because we're about to go into a bull market. Okay. I said, these are some things that need to happen for us to no longer be in a correction phase. Okay? Those things did not happen because guess what? Price went up And then the following week, when it broke out of this area that we were waiting on for 80K, this was the fourth quarter 2025 low. And we were waiting to see if it continues to go up or if it turns around and pushes back down. So if you were here during that time when I was breaking down the different phases of the market cycle, give me the hand raise emoji in the chat. If y'all remember, we were talking about accumulation, expansion, distribution, and correction. Give me the hand raise emoji in the chat. I'm not going to go over tonight, y'all, because I'm already well over my time. If you were here, give me the hand raise emoji in the chat. If you weren't here, give me the thumbs down emoji in the chat. B from BK, welcome in. Happy Friday. If you were here when I talked about the 4 phases of the market cycle, accumulation, expansion, distribution, and correction, give me the hand raise emoji in the chat. If you were not here, give me the thumbs down emoji in the chat. Let me know real quick, y'all. Come on, because I got to go. Hey, I see you from Malaysia. Well, welcome in, Honey Badger. Okay, so Mama Dukes wasn't here. So, yeah, I'm not going to have enough time to do it. But what I can do, okay? Yep, it's definitely on YouTube, y'all. I know it was after the bear market one. I got to look and see. I put it in my stories, y'all. Okay? Like the actual video, I put it in my stories. So y'all can go back to YouTube and start watching. Okay? But yeah, so I talked about that. And so this is when we had the debate. The people who were there, I was like, well, we're going to watch. We got the week. Okay? This is why I look at the week time frame, because it's easier for me to see what's happening in the market than smaller time frames. The smaller the time frame, the more noise it is. So how I knew we experienced a bull trap, I didn't realize it until the next week closed. So we saw price going up, and they were like, see, look, Leona, it broke 80K. I said, okay, it broke 80K, but can it keep going? Can it keep going, come back, retest, make a higher low, and then push back off? If it don't do that, y'all, it's a bull trap. No, we're going into okay. For those few, it was a few. There were some that were with me. There were a good number that were with me. But there were a few that came in here trying to argue me down. I'm like, baby, you wrong, but okay. All right? So, what happened? The following week, it closed below that 80K, and then it kept going week after week after week. It attempted to rebound a little bit, couldn't do it. Next week, made a lower low. And then we did what? Go sideways. Then we had this whole news, this photo op, like you said, right? We had the talks about, having new rules and, suggestions from the SEC and CFTC about the Clarity Act. Yes, we got a date for them to vote, but there's nothing substantial that warrants this type of move. Got it? There was nothing activated into law this week that warrants this move. Do you all agree with that or disagree? Type it in the chat. Do you agree or disagree that there was no substantial movement in law that warranted this type of move? Agree or disagree in the chat? It's just me said agree. Phoenix Rising said agree. Okay, cool. And if you disagree, y'all, that's fine. Just tell us why you disagree. So this is why Leona leans towards bull trap. So if next week close and we have a substantial move to the downside, y'all, there is a higher probability that we're going to get closer to this 49K, 48K ish area. I'm not saying we're going to hit there. I said there's a chance that we could push down there. That's if this turns out to be a bull trap. We definitely going to go lower than here. Got it? And that was 57, high 57K. Okay? Said they are claiming they will use treasury bonds buyback. This will be canceled out by the yen. Okay, Chase, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right, so everybody got it. So what we're looking for for next week, we want to see if Bitcoin breaks this 80K and close above here by the end of next week. So by Friday when the stock market closed, Does Bitcoin close above this 80K and then continues to push up, retest, so on, and go back up? Okay. If it does not close above here by the end of, by close of business off next Friday, and it closes below here, whether it closes below this 72K, 67K, whatever, if it closes below this 80K and it takes back majority of these gains for this week, y'all, that was a clear as day bull trap. And we could see price potentially push down week after week after week. Got it? Does anybody agree or disagree with that? Being able to spot a bull trap. You can't spot it in the moment. It has to play out to confirm that it was a bull trap. Everybody got it? Okay? So there's no homework for today. Say, do you think eventually SRP eventually would decouple from the traditional stock market and value would not fluctuate with Bitcoin either? No. Said watch market Sunday night. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Luckmaster, I appreciate that. I'm telling y'all what I'm doing. What works. I have been studying this for years. Okay? And that is the easiest way to confirm a bull trap. We can all insinuate that it's gonna be. That's us attempting to predict. Oh no, I got you though, baby. So yeah, so in order for us to confirm, okay, we need to see market close next week, Friday, okay? When the market closes next week on Friday, is that candle green? Did it break above 80K, close above 80K, or did it take back majority of those gains that it made this week, and does it close below 80K? Does it close below, what was it, 72K? Hold on, let me look at it, back at it again. Does it close below 80K, 72K-ish, right? That I just showed y'all on the chart. If we see that, then we have indeed experienced a bull trap, y'all. That's it. We're not predicting. We're confirming based off what the data gives us at the close of the market next week. Until then, we can't say it is a bull trap or it is not a bull trap, because nothing has been confirmed just yet. Everybody got it. We got to get out of that mentality of saying we can predict. None of us are God. We don't have the money to move the market to say yes or no. We don't have the money. Because if you're a billionaire and you can drop 10, 20, 30 billion dollars in the market right now, I guarantee you, you're not watching me. You're not on TikTok with me. You're not on YouTube with me. You wouldn't be. You ain't got the time to be sitting on TikTok and YouTube with me. If you have the money to move the market like that, you are not on social media with me. So that's why we need to transition from attempting to predict the market and wait for confirmation. I got it. Everybody want to be first to call something. I hear you. I don't care about that. That's not my thing. That may be your thing. But I'm here to tell you, I ain't predicting jack. I wait for confirmation. Because when I was attempting to predict, that's when I lost the most money. Especially as a trader. Boy, when I was saying, oh yeah, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Instead of me saying, hold up, Leona, slow down. When I took my time, y'all, that's when I made the most money as a trader. In a single trade, right? That's when I made the most money. Because I took my time. If something didn't feel right, if something was off, if something wasn't in alignment, like how I do the traffic light method with y'all now, those 5 things that I look at, that helps me to slow down. So now, instead of me rushing to go and make a decision about something that's long term for me as an investor, now I'm like, no, let me take my time. Let me make sure that all the evidence is pointing in a similar direction. Now I can make a decision. But if it's not, I'm going to do like Bear Market Bully told us, sit on my hands. Right? He said investing off predictions is a horrible way to invest. Absolutely. And y'all, the sooner you realize that, the better off you're going to be. The more money you're going to make, y'all, the less stress you're going to be. For my experienced investors, when you take your time and you do it right, baby, take your time, do it right, right? When you take your time and do it right, right? how much more likely are you to sleep good at night, not stare at the chart, not look at your portfolio? You know what I'm saying? Like, you living life, right? When you don't make that time, you know what I'm saying, to slow down, and you're moving off of emotion and what you just read and all this stuff, you're like, well, I gotta be first. You gotta be first. How many times did you make a mistake? How many times you make a mistake and then you lost money? You're like, I knew I shouldn't have did. I should have known. I told myself. More than likely, you lost money that you wouldn't have lost had you just took your freaking time. So y'all, the point of these live streams is to help us to slow down. You don't have to be the first to call a bull market. You don't have to be the first to call a bull trap. Let the market confirm it. That's it. That's all. We got it. If everybody got it, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat. Everybody got it, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat. Y'all ain't got it? Okay, cool. So with that being said, y'all, if you weren't here on Wednesday, the last thing I need y'all to do, if you weren't here on Wednesday, I need you to download. There we go. I see y'all. Awesome. If you weren't here on Wednesday, what I need y'all to do is download the free bull market checklist. Okay, you're going to get both the bear market and the bull market checklist. These checklists are going to help you to identify some things when the market is tilting. There are key things that I personally look at. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but it's free. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get it, and it's free, dearest, thank you so very much. Right? If you want to get it, it's totally free. It's going to help you to identify when the market is shifting from a bear market to a bull market. It's going to help you to identify when it's shifting from a bull market to a bear market. And some of the things that I personally do, thank you for the roses, Marcus. Some of the things that I personally do to prepare. That's the key. How do we prepare for the next shift? So we talked about a lot of that tonight. So on next Friday, because Tuesday I will not be live because I'll be hosting a webinar to help people to secure the wealth that they're building. Okay, so all this work that we putting in as investors, all this work you putting in to put money into savings accounts and 529s for your kids, IRAs, all that stuff. There are certain things that we need to do to protect it. Okay, so next shift sounds like a 9 to 5. I know, I got you. But that's what I'll be talking about on Tuesday, but people have to sign up for that. So if you want to, you can click the link in my bio. That's totally free too. But you don't have to if you don't want to, child. If you don't care and you don't want to hear me or, my friend talk about the ways to protect through certain avenues or whatever, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But I won't be live next Tuesday. I'll be live again on next Friday. That's August 28th. All right, and we're going to talk about this whole 250K Bitcoin conversation. What needs to happen, or what things need to take place for us to see a 250K Bitcoin, okay? I'm using historical data, y'all. I told you, I'm not here to make predictions. I'm letting the data speak to me, all right? And it's going to confirm for me, yes, there's a possibility of that happening. There's a higher probability of that happening, or no. It's not. So we're going to put this whole 250K Bitcoin on trial. We going to be, you know what I'm saying? Well, y'all going to be the jury. I'm going to be the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to present the evidence to y'all. And then y'all going to say yay or nay. All right? He said, what you doing next Tuesday? I'm so nosy. So next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, since I normally do crypto one-on-ones, instead, I'm hosting a webinar. I got one of my friends that put me on to what I should look for in an insurance policy and whatnot, because I learned that I got when it comes to my life insurance. After the Army, we had to get our own insurance. I didn't get the veteran insurance. I ended up getting my own insurance, and in reading this stuff and having him walk me through some things, I learned that they did me dirty with my life insurance. So it ticked me off, and I was like, I don't want other people to experience that. especially for my veterans out there. So I want to have the conversation so that way when you are working to build this money, you know what I'm saying, to build that wealth, you got your stock brokerage accounts, you are putting money into these high yield savings accounts, you're buying all of this gold, silver, stuff like that, real estate, all of that stuff. Okay? We want to make sure that one, you know how to go about building that stuff, but also how to protect it, because that's where in our community for sure we don't have those conversations enough. And it's not just about doggone, it's on Zoom, Phoenix Rising. All right. It's not just about life insurance, y'all. It's about taking different security measures, period. Life insurance is one part, but there are other things that we can do to protect what we're building. So that way the government don't come in and swoop in and take everything that you done say him build. Okay? So if you want to attend, all right, you do have to register for that. It's still free, but you have to register for that. You can click the link in my bio on TikTok, okay? Or you can click the link in the description box on YouTube. I'm going to add it on YouTube so y'all can click it, okay? So that's on Tuesday, August 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. So I will not be doing Crypto 101. I'll be talking to people who are already investing or want to invest so that way you can protect what you are building. Don't let the government come in and take what you don't work your butt off for and take it away from your family, because they're doing that. We do know that, right? We know that, right? Yes, ma'am. Wealth evolution. Okay? They coming in and they swooping in and taking people land. They're taking people assets because they're not protected. That's what we're talking about on Tuesday. Okay? So even if you don't have millions, y'all, this is for people like myself in the Army, started buying property. You know what I'm saying? Retired. Thought that, oh, if I just get life insurance, period, I'm covered. Not realizing the fine print. The verbiage that they use that throws you off and gets you into a life insurance policy that is going to cost you more money the older you get. I don't want y'all to mess around and get got like me. I want y'all to be protected, okay? So, yeah, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Click the link in my bio. Click the link on the description, in the description box on YouTube. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in. I'm not giving y'all any homework tonight, okay? I appreciate the conversation. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares, reposts, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a really great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy. Take care of yourself. And I'm going to leave y'all my favorite quote, and that's from the, he said I wasn't going to do it anyway. I'm off on weekends, okay? So I'm going to leave y'all my favorite quote, and that's from the legend. His name is Arthur Ashe, and he said to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. I appreciate y'all, and God willing, we'll see each other on Tuesday. Bye, y'all.